Come into the room, family. Come into the room. I am the H-Town vet, and I would like to welcome you to this live stream, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. Let me check our sound, and we're going to get right with you. Okay, family, let's get started. The first person in the chat room is our sister Betty Bops. She says, H-Town, hope you had a fabulous weekend. It was pretty good, my sister. How about you? Are you recovering? Let us know how everything is going. We wish you well on your recovery. And for everybody else in the room, we want you to know I am the H-Town vet. I'd like to welcome you to this live stream, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. This is an interactive channel. And we thank you for being here, family. Now, we have a chat restriction. You have to at least be subscribed for 5 days in order to chat in the chat room. This is to show people are committed to the channel as far as chatting and to keep down trolling issues. So there's a 5-day wait. So if you come in here and you want to chat, you got to subscribe at least 5 days. We have our brother Coasty in the room. We want to show respect to our Coast Guard members. Say hello, H-Town and the family. Many times they are overlooked, just like the National Guard. The Coast Guard is a branch of the military family. And what I don't like in a lot of these hearings, they don't even bring the Coast Guard up. Now, Charleston say, shipmate Betty Bops, hope you recovering. Was scared, I only one heard. Yes. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, my page is, give me a second here, family. Y'all coming into the room, and we appreciate that. We got Charleston say, evening, Coasty. Then they're speaking to each other. Then we have MG Smith in the house, aka Mike Smith, but we call him MG. That's his name. They kind of changed it. YouTube kind of changed up the names, so we're still calling them by the name that they requested. We have Farm Girl Rebel in the house, evening, family. Listening in the barn, doing chores. We got our good old farm girl out there handling business, and we glad that you're here, our sister. Family, and they very seldom mention female veterans. That's why we want to make sure that the veteran family includes everybody. It's not limited to MOS, combat service, non-combat service, your gender, none of that. So let's get to it, family. Thank you for joining us. No trolling allowed. As you can tell, you see how serious it is that we got rid of the trolls because we set an example. Now we know going forward. See, a lot of people, they started off with us, but they didn't end with us, so they're not going to end with us. And there might be a few more in here. We're in here having serious business. People have health concerns. People attacking our benefits. A lot of anti-veteran rhetoric going on right now. So we want to be on top of this thing. So we have Betty Bob say, H-Town, thank you for asking. I am recovering. Charlton, thank you, shipmate. Husband had to leave leave me on post ops 4 days. Her husband, mom passed away. So he had to leave this morning to Kentucky. Prayers to you and your family for the loss and the recovery. Condolences, condolences, condolences. My Lord, they say when it rains, it pours. So that's why I say this is not a place that we're going to tolerate any type of disrespect. So the channel may not grow, but so much. As long as we get quality people here, I'm not so much concerned about quantity. I want more people to get the message, but not if it comes at the cost of the quality of information that we put out. And then our brother says, Coasty says, sorry to hear that, Betty. My condolences. Yes, indeed. And our prayers are with you and your family. Now, family, if this information turns out to be informative and helpful, please smash that like button. We appreciate you if you're able to. Now, let's get on topic. And we'll ask our sister if she has any more to say when we get to the after party. Thank you for sharing with us, though. And let's get on topic. The topic for today is, they keep bringing up this issue of perverse incentives. Perverse incentives. So is it perverse incentives or proper compensation for veterans to seek the highest benefit that they are entitled to? We're going to talk about it tonight. Say prayers to husband on mom passing shipmate from Brother Charleston. And we have Brother Jay Oliver in the house. Say good evening, family. Yes, indeed. So let us continue, family. So the question is, as it relates to the topic, is the current VA compensation system corrupting veterans or properly rating disabilities? We're going to get into it tonight. All right? Because that's what they're saying. Perverse incentives, it's like it's corrupting us, turning us into some kind of weirdos. That's a real horrible thing. The reason we're talking about it, family, because they had another hearing. I believe it was the Democrats in particular dealing with veteran benefits, and we're going to talk about that. Now, Betty Bob say, thank you so much. During the after hour, I will update you. Thank you. Now, it's a lot of people trying to sling mud on us as veterans, in my opinion. Y'all could tell me how y'all feel about it. Seem like there's a tax. They have a organization that said, oh, we research veteran organizations to tell you where the money goes, whether it gets to the veteran or not. So there's a lot of things that's presenting itself as support to veterans, but in actuality, it's opposition to say, look, you shouldn't donate to these things. All they doing exploiting. This is the veteran hustle. So let's talk about it. And it's the biggest concern. What I take out of it is it makes veterans not want to file for their benefits for fear of being accused of being a scammer, fear of being accused of being a fraudster, trying to play the system. And the veteran is the one who suffers the most in this situation. Is it a risk in filing for your VA disability? Now you have everybody yelling at us as veterans, telling us what we shouldn't get and what we should get, and the way the system should work. Everybody's talking, yelling at us, whether it's the Washington Post, Congress, even the VSOs, other people at the hearings, but they don't have the average veteran up there. Where's our voice? We've been talked at, not talked to. Now you remember, and I don't want to let this go, because this gentleman here, he must have felt it. This representative for the veteran of foreign wars, when he was using terms like perverse incentives and bad policy to relate to veterans. Now I say question is why, H-Town, are they triggered? Are they trying to trigger us to react? Well, if they can get us to react, and that's the goal, to get veterans to get angry so they can say, look at them. They're not loyal to the country. They don't even appreciate us as the taxpayer. We're showing concern. You notice almost every hearing they have pretty words supporting the veteran, doing this. So if you just look at the cover of the book, you would assume that these people are saying things in our favor, but we're looking at the slick words. So if we were to retaliate or argue, they would say we're acting ungrateful. This the game, Brother Charleston. Huh? I told you where I come from. I come from the streets. I know the hustle. First, they got to sully your name. They got to sling mud on you. Huh? What did I tell you? What did they do in Germany? First, they talked quietly in their homes about the people that they were going to attack. Then they spoke publicly. Then they made moves to eliminate them. So that's what they did. They was talking behind the scenes about us. Then all of a sudden, they're speaking publicly with the Washington Post. And there's another article that was done before that. You're going to hear about that tonight, I think. I think I got it in the video. Listen what M.G. Smith say. I believe that's why they're going to discourage veterans and make us feel guilty. They're going to make you feel guilty before filing a claim. That's why I had the last slide. Now, so because, is it bad policy? No, that's a lie. For veterans, that we're going by the rules. Most veterans don't even use an unaccredited claim agent. We use VSOs, so is it corrupt for us to use VSOs? When you have a VSO saying that it's corrupt, perverse incentives, how can we get these type of people, if they're the leadership of these veteran service organizations, how can we get them to represent us if they're not on the same page as us? Let's talk about it. Now, family, for example, he called it a perverse incentive, bad policy, that these benefits kick in when you what they call it, consecutive receipt, when you can get your military retirement and your VA compensation at 50%, or when you get 100%, specifically 100% permanent total. He left out the permanent total part because I think they're trying to make the conditions temporary. And we're going to talk more about that in a bit. So, for example, you remember Dr. Gade on the last videos we were watching, he criticized mental health ratings and saying that it should be very selective. I guess because they say it's subjective. No, it's based on what? It's based on medical knowledge and criteria. Let's talk about it. So mental health rating, for example, 100%. They're not just giving it to you. It's not a perverse incentive or bad policy. It's based on medical knowledge and evidence. You have to have total occupational and social impairment due to such symptoms as gross impairment of thought process or communication. Now, remember, these things have to come from a medical professional with credentials. So if it's anything perverse, the only person that's really going to be lying is the doctor. And if you're exaggerating, they're going to catch you in something. They catch the fraudsters. Now, persistent delusions or hallucinations, gross inappropriate behavior, persistent danger of hurting oneself. That means that people are either harming themselves or attempting to take their own lives. Listen, how is that the veteran problem? How is that corrupting the veteran to get his benefits or her benefits? Intermediate inability to perform daily life, perform activities of daily life. Guess what? If I can't perform activities of daily life, how are you going to push me back out in the work scene on a consistent basis, including including maintenance of minimal personal hygiene. Let me pull this up on the screen for a second. Disorientation of time and place. You wouldn't know when to go to work. I'm saying on a consistent basis. Some people might be able to work some, but you might have to back off if something becomes a problem. Then memory loss for names of close relatives, own occupation. You may not even remember your own name or own name. Now listen to our brother here. He says, veterans, in my opinion, destroy a vast amount of evidence by conforming to normative healing thyself along and saying nothing at all. Most veterans don't want to talk about it. They just, and guess what? Guess what a lot of veterans do? Come on, tell me if I'm lying. A lot of veterans underreport. Am I lying? I'm all right. They've been dealing with the pain so long that they just go along with it because they don't want no pushback. They don't want nobody trying to say that they are weak, right? Think about it. What happens? The sick call police. Watch our live stream on that, where they call you what? Sick call Sally. Huh? Yeah. So what he was calling perverse incentives, those of us that get Champ VA because they got 100% rating, they're saying it's perverse because that veterans will do anything. People are enticing us to do anything to get the benefit. No, we don't get the benefit. The benefit is a side effect of getting 100% permanent and total rating. Because a veteran is that severely damaged at 100% permanent total, they have to have benefits for their dependents to help them. That is not bad policy. He tries to clean it up. Either he's watching us here or somebody that gave him some blowback, because now he's trying to clean up what he said. That's his picture right on the bad policy. I ain't letting it go. In addition, Chapter 35, educational benefits, bad policy and perverse incentives. How can it be perverse to provide educational benefits and healthcare benefits for your dependents? How can that be perverse, fam? Make it make sense. He's going to try to explain himself tonight. Now, Charlton say, true, Jay, for men, that woman would want to marry a broken man veteran. Come on now. Because there's a stigma to that. We started in the military with it. Oh, and now let's not just talk about dealing with perverse incentives. Remember what he was doing, the last gentleman, those are dog whistles. Those were dog whistles. He comes straight out with it. This veteran, so-called veteran, Daniel Gade, PhD, retired lieutenant colonel, amputee, says treat illness, don't compensate, in his opinion. All right. He ranks veterans. He don't even mention non-combat veterans at all, because many of us was injured when we were in country. We might have been overseas. We might be on a military base. A lot of the chemicals that we were exposed to for toxic exposure were in bases in the United States. Am I lying? They were in Japan, places that nobody's fighting, but they're ignoring this. Well, he attacks the PACT Act. But a lot of people want to rank veterans. We don't rank veterans here. If you feel like you need to rank a veteran, you're in the wrong place. I am a combat veteran, but I am no better than a female veteran, or female combat veteran, a female non-combat veteran, a non-combat veteran in general. I'm no better or worse than a military officer. Special forces is no better than us, because they kind of hype them up, but we thank them for their service. But you don't get no special thing here. We appreciate the sacrifices you made, but all veterans are prioritized here, all. And you got a problem, you come through me and let me know. Now, dealing with Dr. Gade, he went on this employment thing. Family, we recapping so we can tie this thing in, because we got him shook. and we got them shook, we got to keep going at it. Remember what we showed you. H-Town broke it down. They want to save money, right? Look how much they give out for tinnitus alone. Do you see that? They give almost $154 million a month for 10% tinnitus. Yeah, they don't pay that much, right? They pay about $100-something a month, but look how many people getting it. Remember, tinnitus is the #1 diagnosed illness for veterans. Remember, we went over that, H-Town. Then you start getting up, look, from 10 to 50%. For 20%, they got 128 million. So they actually pay out less for 20%. They do 10% because there are more people. When it comes to 30%, they pay out about over 180 million. For 40%, they pay out 275 million. For 50%, this is monthly now, they pay 315 million, almost $316 million a month. Tax-free money that go to the veterans. For 60%, 627 million a month. For 70%, now they want to cut it off at 60% and only want the disability ratings to start at 70. At 70%, they pay out about $1 billion a month. 80%, they pay 1.2 billion. 90%, they pay 1.4 billion. And for 100%, which is about 26% of all disabled veterans, they pay $6 billion a month. So now you know why they want to get rid of 100% permanent total, because not only paying $6 billion, they paying for Chapter 35 for the dependents, they paying for Champ VA for the each dependent that you have. They trying to cut the money. Huh? Follow the money. Please follow the money. Remember what Lieutenant Colonel Gade was saying. He want to start at 70%. Everybody else go back to work. Well, there are already people that are working that you can work up to 90%. And one brother's going to break it down, and I appreciate him, that just because you disabled don't mean you can't work. Because he broke it down more articulate than myself. And look, if they cancel ratings from 0 to 100%, that'll be 2,681,853 veterans that'll be off the books, almost half, about 40%. And the only thing would be remaining is the 70 to 100%. But don't feel safe, because then if you go along with that, they're going to come chip at that 70 to 100%. Remember, they trying to get rid of the permanent total. Let's talk about it. Now, family, here we go. He proposed it, and I believe this comes from Congress themselves, because they wouldn't have allowed him to say that. They talked to him before he got there, Dr. Gade. Dr. Gade proposal, this is the Lieutenant Colonel, retired. He said ratings from 0 to 60% need to go back to work. Huh? Look how much money would save them monthly. 1,681,049,929. Come on now. And now, guess who ain't gonna be getting cut? Those disabled veterans that are in Congress. They money not getting cut. You think they're gonna cut their own money? The retired veterans in Congress, you think they're gonna cut their funds? Come on now. Remember, about 45% of veterans have a 60% rating or lower. 55% have a 70% rating or higher. Yes. Now, I want to know, if you had a chance to talk to Dr. Gade, what would you say to him? And I'm sorry I didn't color his name up there. I don't know why it's white like that. That slipped past me. Now, medicine cabinets full of counter drugs and Conair, Dr. Scholl's and Dr. Scholl's store brand to work and merge into society, or to fit a box or bridge to live under. Oh, Lord. Oh, to find a box or bridge to live under. Come on, fam. This ain't no joke. We can't play with this. Dr. Gabe, heal thyself. If we could heal ourselves, we would never went to the VA, would we? They get us in a work environment. What happens when the veteran spasses out? What is the Congress? Remember what the congressman said. We should not be the senator. Veterans should not be professional veterans. He want to say professional disabled veterans. We are veterans too. So what you mean a professional veteran? He meaning milking them VA benefits. That's what he feeling to be, us living off of them, when he ain't saying nothing about his co-workers in there in the Congress who get their full disability, and some get 80% and 50%. But we don't know how much they're getting, right? So what are they going to do when a veteran spaz out? Because they're forced to go back to work because they're going to lose their disability and they don't want to destroy their family. A mentally unstable, a physically limited veteran with migraines, back injury. Do they understand what kind of game they playing? They playing one dangerous game, in my opinion. Now, you go back to work like they tell you to, then you get fired because you don't get the job at all because of your limitations given to your medical history. They say you're too much of a liability. We can't accommodate you. Now listen to what our brothers say. No, Lieutenant Colonel Gay said veterans are professional complainers. H-Town, he did say, but the other Congress saying we're professional veterans. But I like what you just said. He said we're professional complainers. But he slipped up and said he getting his benefits. Did you remember that? When I filed for my he changed it. Oh, but you telling what we shouldn't get. Okay, so listen to what Brother J. Oliver say. I have seen so many Congress members go off on civilians and watch them tear up that they are shocked that they are talking to them that way. Yes. What they expect, especially when they have these town hall meetings. Now, the temporary ratings, as we said, we want to make it a little more detailed because the information I put out, I want to make sure that it's very clear. Temporary ratings are number 1 and 3. There's 4 types of 100%, a temporary 100%. We're saying this because other people new to the channel, we got a lot of new subscribers, and we want to keep it going home, hitting home with the rest of the family here. Veteran congressmen, I mean. Yes. Yes. And let me reread that since you say veteran congressman. I have seen so many veteran congressmen go off on civilians and watch them tear up that they are shocked that they are talking that way. Yeah. And that's what he meant. He's talking about veteran congressman. Now, thank you for the statement, my brother. Now listen, temporary ratings is a temporary 100%, meaning you have some type of corrective surgery or you have it for a certain specific amount of time. And after you get certain things done, you're no longer a temporary 100%. It is actually a scheduler 100% rating. You're actually 100%. It's just temporary. All right. Your rating is actually 100%. It's temporary. Then there's IU, which you're not 100%, but paid at the 100% rate. And that's individual unemployability, which is a form of unemployability. And that's the second temporary, number 3. We're going to talk about it. And we know the 2 permanent ratings are 100% permanent total and TDIU. Both are permanent ratings. And 100% permanent total is permanent and total. Permanent meaning it's not likely to improve, and total meaning you're paid at the 100% rate. With TDIU, you're not paid at the 100%. You're actually 100%. You have a schedule 100% for number 2. You are scheduled 100%. And you have a total rating of 100%, and it's permanent. TDIU, you have a permanent rating. You're just paid at 100%, and it's the same thing. The only requirements that are different with unemployability is that you have to work, if you do work, in sheltered environments and not above the poverty level. Okay, that's for IU and TDIU, both forms of unemployability. Now, remember, temporary ratings, back to the temporary ratings, they fluctuate up and down. And I believe this is what they're trying to do, to have all veterans have temporary ratings. If they're trying to attack Chapter 35 educational benefits and Chapter 35 educational benefits and CHAMP VA, that's what makes your condition permanent. If they get rid of those, that means your condition ain't permanent no more. That's a backdoor way of doing things. That's a dog whistle he was sending to Congress, in my opinion. Now listen to what Brother Charleston say. Who elected Lieutenant Colonel Gade to talk, representing us veterans? I didn't. His rank, doesn't impress me. Oh, hold on, Brother Charleston. But can we really go after him? Because he lost a leg in the military. So they got somebody, can we really? He did sacrifice a part of his extremities. Doesn't they give him the right to say whatever he wants about us? If somebody say they did this or did that, don't they give them the right to say whatever they want or not? Let us know. He said he's not impressed. Neither am I. But let us know your opinion. Now look, Gade was invited to the meeting by Tuberville in Alabama. Alabama is a state that Gade has his company, which is the recipient of many government contracts now. And we got to send me some information on that. Sounds like he's a stereotype of us. Real good, MG Smith, and real good receipt. We need some information, because if Gade is smiling to Senator Tuberville and he made a little gesture, an inside joke, I couldn't pick up the word he said. That's why he smirked. Like, I did it, boss. I did it. You gonna give me my butter biscuit when it's over with? Yeah. You can't attack him. He's a veteran. He's a retired lieutenant colonel. He has, I guess, a Purple Heart because he's missing a body part. Now, and they saying he's a combat veteran. So can you attack him? Now, listen what Farm Girl Rebel say. I got to read this again. Senators can't, let me see what she said. Senators cannot award government contracts, but they can certainly grease the wheels. Come on now. Now, it's a stereotype of a veteran. See, that's what we say at our community. When they can't defeat us, they always find some bootlicking, buck dancing black person to trot out in front of you. They tried to reboot Good Times as a cartoon, and they had black immigrants who were the ones making the show, and they had us looking like, had a little baby on a big wheel on a little tricycle selling crack cocaine, selling dope, because that's their stereotype. They didn't grow up around us. They really was, and that show didn't go nowhere. So you got to watch when they have people. All skin folk ain't kin folk is what we say as black folks, and all people that wore the uniform don't, just because they are veterans don't mean they're pro-veteran. Come on now. How much would it take for you to sell out your fellow veteran? We had some of them in here, they sell us out in a minute. We had to boot them out. So they got 100%, they lost their mind. They lost their mind. They like, I ain't gotta listen to y'all no more. Yeah, I was talking. We were singing Negro spirituals yesterday. Yeah, but today I got my 100%. So I'm gonna just disrupt the channel because I don't want nobody else getting it. That is how the game is played on the hill. So our benefits are game to them. Now, so my question is, what is Tuberfield up to? Now that's what, because he might be throwing a smoke screen. I don't know. He couldn't come out himself and say such things. He would be crucified, but by proxy. He had a proxy. Huh? Now, Tuberfield is up for re-election 2026. But he got plausible deniability, fam. He can say that wasn't my words, that was his. That's what Gate is nothing more than a mouthpiece of one of those senators. I suspect Tuberfield. Tubbs. Good question, Farm Girl Rebel. And they talk why they won't invite you wonderful people to the chat, to before Congress. So temporary ratings fluctuating. That's what they like. Unemployability. I had individual unemployability. It's a temporary unemployability rating, and we usually call temporary IU for short. You have to work under the poverty level. The same is true for TDIU. That's a permanent rating, but we're talking about the temporary rating right now. For $15,650 a year. You can't make more than that from what they're saying. You have to work under the federal poverty level and in a sheltered and work environment for a family member, or they modify your work environment. Now, temporary 100%, that's like if you had a knee replacement, we talked about this, and during the recovery period, we're going to talk about, you have a recovery period. So they give you temporary 100% up until the surgery. Okay? You'll schedule 100%, but it's temporary. And this is also true for prostate cancer and other conditions. Now listen to what Charles say. Farm Girl Rebel, you're correct. Now I'm depressed. I see what anger does to me, clouds my thinking. Yeah, don't get upset. We here for each other. See, we shaking them. That's why they study having these hearings, because they getting the blowback. Now listen, temporary ratings. I want y'all to look at this and study it clearly. I'm doing an overview. Due to either individual unemployability, which is IU, or temporary 100%. When it comes to individual unemployability, the condition may improve. So there is a reevaluation in 3 to 5 years, because they're going to check it back up. Sometimes they might, after the 3 or 5 years, they may extend it longer and may not check you out. If they extend it over 20 years, you're locked in at 100%, but not permanent total 100%. Then you have to file for permanent total. Yes, you can have a temporary 100%. If you have it for 20 years straight, you locked in at the 100% pay rate. Come on now. Now, temporary 100%. After corrective surgery, you got rehab for 4. You get paid a temporary 100% until the corrective surgery. After the corrective surgery, you have a rehab period of 4 months. Now, where you getting this accurate and specific information like this? We take time to do this. You see how creative H-Town trying to be? Huh? Sometimes I can't spell my own name, but I put my heart into this. Betty Bob say 12 likes and 18 watching. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all spending time here with us. Now, Farm Girl Rebel say smash that like button into next week. Y'all are mess. I thank y'all. Thank y'all. I hope I can win your subscription and like. Now, re-examinations when they're temporary, because they fluctuate. Periodic re-examination. And if there's any improvement, they're going to reduce your benefits. And I believe they're trying to make all of us temporary. Now, remember what we said before. Permanent VA ratings are 100% permanent total and TDIU. That means that your condition is static, not likely to improve significantly over the remainder of the veteran's life. It may improve a little bit. They can't reduce you then. They can't mess with you then. It has to be substantial, significant, and continuous. Remember these words when you ever have to fight for your benefits. Another thing, no future exams scheduled. On your VA rating coach is going to say no future exams, but that don't mean they won't schedule any. Permanent don't mean permanent. It means that it's not likely to improve, that you don't have any exams scheduled, and most likely won't. And remember what they were trying to go at. Bad policy for the veteran of foreign wars. That's it. He's a representative. They didn't say nothing. They didn't announce what he said. And rewarding illness for Dr. Gabe. He wanted to get rid of really the whole VA compensation system altogether and rate veterans on only pay the ones that are combat veterans and have disabilities that you can see. So many times, family, when we're going for our benefits, it's us against everybody, right? If we don't have no support, we didn't have channels, social media, many of us when we started out. So we're fighting against all these entities. You say, well, I don't see them. Not until you start filing for your benefits, then they start telling you what you can't get. Information that the VA should have right there at the regional offices telling you how to file a claim, the different types of claims. They should have everything. They should have classes where they teach us how to file our claims at the VA. Am I right? They're getting all these billions of dollars, but they're not teaching veterans about what their rights are and how to file their claims and get the benefits that they deserve. Shouldn't they do that? Why H-Town got to do it? Huh? They should be doing it too. But I don't trust them like that because they work for the federal government, so I got to do it. You're not alone, though. And when you're up there, you're pleading your case, and it's like you all by yourself. You don't know what to do when you're doing it by yourself. That's why we got to work together, fam. Because you playing by rules that you don't even know exist. Some of them on paper, some of them not. They got common law rules. See, let me tell you something. They can't, we went over this, go watch our live stream. They can't call it perverse. No, it's not based on perverse incentives. It's based on severity assessment that the VA does. We're not the one that does the severity assessment. It's based on the rating schedule. So when you're dealing with the severity assessment, they measure how, once you are service connected, they measure how severe your condition is. Did you hear what I said? And it's based on your inability to function in daily life and your inability to work. The less you're able to work, the more benefits you get. So if you're not able to work at all, or it affects what they call it type of work. Substantial gainful employment. Okay, I think it's substantial gainful employment. If you're not able to get that, that's why they give you Chapter 35 educational benefits and TDIU, because you're not able to secure substantial gainful employment. So you'll be able to pay some bills. All right. So the rating schedule, first they look at how often the symptoms happen. That's the symptoms frequency. They look how long the symptom lasts. Let's use migraines as an example right now. How often you have migraines. That's symptom frequency. How long does the symptom last? How long are your migraine headaches? The impact on daily life. Do you have to go somewhere to a cool room, lay down for how long? The impact on work. Do you have to take days off because of your migraines? Are we tying it in? Did they talk about any of this at the hearings? What they're spending all this money in hearings, but they don't have people like us breaking this down. Now listen to what our brother Charleston say. The VBA disability is like on the job training. Yes. We look, we have to run in the walls. Family, if in your VA disability journey to get your benefits, and some of you are still in it, if you've ever run into walls, put the word wall up, or put an emoji for a wall up. Put an emoji for a wall up, or put the word wall if you've ever ran into walls. How many? You can put how many times if you like to. I ran into walls. Maybe 10 or more times. In the form of denials, in the form of them telling me not submitting the proper paperwork. How many of y'all ran into walls? H-Town ran into walls at least 10 times. Brother Charleston say he ran into the walls. Tell us about it, Brother Charleston. What was the biggest wall you ran into? If y'all ran into walls, let us know. Coasty say he ran into walls. What was the biggest wall you ran into? And I remember, I think you said you used lawyers. How did the lawyers help you deal with that wall, Brother Charleston? Sister Betty Bob said times 7 she ran into them walls. Big Blue 50 say ran into walls. Come on, family. Why they wasn't talking about this in the Senate hearings? Talk to me. MG Smith, walls too many to count. Fam, this ain't no joke up in here. This ain't no joke. I'm going to go get my water, fam. We're going to use migraines as an example. Y'all put some information in the chat. And Farm Girl Rebel say, I am lucky, but the only wall I had was a misinformed VSO. Then listen, MG Smith say, was a corrupt, crooked VA judge out of Washington. Oh, you telling it all. Now listen. Now, Charlton say, I think of that wall and think of the song Pink Floyd, leaving those kids alone. Yeah. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. Now, you know where they got their name for, H-Town. They say he tie everything into Black history. They honored a 2 blues singers named, one named Pink and the other named Floyd. That's what they got their name for. That's what they said. Now, but great group. I love Pink Floyd. Now, everybody saying how the Big Blue. Jay Oliver say walls. Now, while I go get my water, I want to ask y'all this. And y'all put it in the chat. Then we're going to go over migraines as an example, dealing with this foolishness that's going on here. What they trying to mess with our benefits, okay? And that is not a perverse incentive. It's not we can go back to work just like that. I want y'all to tell us what walls you went into. Jay Oliver say he ran into walls. And I'm going to let y'all chat here a second. I'll be right back. Family, thank you for your patience while I went and go get my water. I had left my water, family, so thank y'all for being so kind. Now listen to what our sister says here, Farm Girl Rebel. I hope you're taking care of those animals, but you're going out there that you wrapped up in a jacket or something, because I know it may be kind of cold where you at, sister. So you be safe out there with the animals, okay? So our sister Farm Girl Rebel says, now ask me how much help I receive from the actual VA appointment, the VA appointed help. 30%. The rest I dug out with outside help. Okay. They are I just got the right person. I just got the right person. Mr. Reyes was a blessing. He helped me, and he just was very good at what he did. Smart, soft spoken. You wouldn't think you get much done. Powerful man, though. Thank him. But we don't always run into people like that. So I had help with a VSO. Now listen to what Brother Charleston says. VSO, while he was too much thinking of his book he was writing about his deployment in First Gulf War. You telling me why you were sitting there, and Blue, how you been doing, Blue 50, Big Blue 50? Let us know. Now, is Big Blue 50, is this the brother out of Philippines? Let us know. When you asking about your disability, he was talking about his book, bro. Now, Farm Girl Rebel says, flipping freezing, but I'm back in the house. That's why I can chat. Okay. Make sure you have gloves on out there, and you be safe with those animals. You know how when it get cold, they might get a little grumpy. Now, be careful. You know how them horses swing that leg, back kick you, you know. That's why when you're dealing with horses, people never walk up behind a horse. You need to let them see you and rub on them, because you walk up behind them, you can startle them, and they might swing that leg. They don't just kick like a donkey. They'll take one leg and it'll knock you across the room, and they bites are painful. I never been bit, but my cousin did, and they'll dig into you. One stud bit a mare one time because she was already pregnant. He had bust up out the stall, and he bit on the neck. But you know what they put on there? Sulfur on the neck, and it healed like it was never there. I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. You learn something when you deal with animals every day. Now listen what Jay Oliver say. Educated myself, had to create MRI treatment, medication severity, service tie, chronology and statement, which jive with ACE exam and phone interview. This man had a phone interview. Tension headaches, but he's saying hypertension. He was talking like hypertension, Dr. Gay, wasn't a real thing. That's just from being older and being fat. Guess what? They have young veterans, 20, 19, 20, 22 years old with hypertension after they get out the military. Come on now. I know some. On phone talking to his publisher, I think. Oh God, this is ridiculous. We got to laugh to keep from crying. Now, Farm Girl says, I have a couple of boys here around 150 pounds. Okay. They do kick and bite, but they can start really running around in the cold. They love it. Yeah, that's how they stay warm. Anybody, have you ever thought about getting one of those Mustangs out there? They'll let you like adopt one of the Mustangs. I think you can do that. You ever thought about doing that? You know, some of them wild Mustangs that run wild, you can adopt one. You better get them young. Always be careful around big farm animals, please. Because you don't be teasing goats. As soon as you turn around, they will bump you up in the air. Happened to my friend. Didn't bump him in the air, but it hit his leg. He was teasing the goat. You know, had the goat tied up because he's about to be 19th of June celebration. I know I should be talking. I know you love goats, Farm Girl. He was hot. He was getting wormed at the time. I'm from the city, family. I know I sound like I'm country, but I'm from the city. Say, listen what she say. No way getting a Mustang. Need a whole different skill set and a much younger body, because a Mustang is wild. Even if you get them young, they got a wild spirit. Now let's get into this as an example, dealing with migraine headaches. And a few of you in here suffer from migraines. I know. and a service connect. Now, when it comes to migraine headaches, which is I think a more severe form of headache, correct me if I'm wrong, Sister Betty Bobs. Now, a 0% rating. This is why I say it's based on severity, not based on perverse incentive. With a 0% rating, this rating is typically assigned to veterans with infrequent or less severe migraines that don't significantly impact their daily lives. All right, and because it's 0% rating, is no monetary compensation, and it is low in severity level. Now, the next one is a 10% rating. So you can get a 0% rating for migraine. Some rating schedules, the rating criteria, some rating criteria for different disabilities don't go up to 100%. And some of them don't have every one, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Mental health only have 5 now, if they haven't changed it. If they've changed it, I mean. 10% for migraine. Okay, now it's starting to get a little bit more severe. Symptoms for 10% migraine. And this is what that Dr. Gade was saying. Oh, you can, the Washington Post say you can look it up. And Dr. Gade was saying it too, that you can look up the symptoms and you can just pretend like you got those symptoms. Everything he was saying was his opinion, no evidence. We have 18 likes and 19 watching. Thank you, family. Okay, now, with a 10% rating for the rating criteria for migraines at a 10% rating, first you're going to get $175.51. This rating is given to veterans with migraines that involve prostrating attacks occurring on average about once every 2 months over several months. So you have at least one every 2 months when it comes to these prostrating attacks. Meaning, tell them prostrating, you know what that means, fam, those that experience it, but that means you have to go somewhere and lay down. But it's not happening but about once every 2 months. Now, when you get a 30% rating for migraines, the rating criteria is for migraines at 30% is this rating is for veterans experiencing migraines with prostrating attacks occurring on average about once a month. So it goes from 10% where you're doing it once every 2 months, you having attacks once a month now, occurring on average about once a month over several months, not just a couple of months. And you give 500, and I forget how much that was. Now, 50%, which is the high rating you can get. This is the most severe, even though it's 50%. It's high severity for migraines because it's the highest one. This is the rating criteria for migraines at 50%. This is the maximum rating and is awarded to veterans whose migraine attacks are very frequent, completely prostrating, prolonged, and causes severe economic inadaptability. Now, with Dr. Gade, he would say because we can't see the migraines, they're not as significant as wounds that we can see. But that's not always the case. But I believe our Sister Betty Bob say that they will come up on MRIs, migraine headaches, that is. And you would get a 50% rating, $1,102.04. And this is prostrating, where you laying. If you've ever experienced prostrating exams, put a little bed in the chat, or put okay, so let's see what we got here. Brother Charleston say, so the honor system they talk about is severity level of disability condition, not the condition as it has paper medical evidence. Yeah, the honor system, you're reporting your illness. So there's certain things, put a bed in the emoji or put the word bed if you have prostrating headaches or migraine headaches. Now, so they have to rely on the veteran to a certain extent because you are the one expressing the pain level. They can't see your pain. You're the one expressing what happens on a daily basis because they don't have a camera following you around. So you have to do some reporting to the doctor where when it comes to a back condition, they might notice that you can't move. You're stuck in place. Yes, it's possible, but very good question. Honor system. But from what these people are saying, the ones that are speaking against us, that we're not honorable, even though our service was honorable. She says MRI does show up. Okay. Oh, okay. Prostating for Betty Bops and Jay Oliver. He's the other one. Oh, more than I forgot it was more than 2 people. Jay Oliver has prostrating migraine headaches. So does Farm Girl Rebel. That's why I'm thank God for her not working no more and getting retired, even though she had to kind of force retire. Say, but not migraines, headaches from optical neurogella, whatever, come from neck to spine. So headaches come from different forms. So you can get headaches from physical condition. You can get it from tinnitus, the ringing in the ear, or Jay Oliver say, Farm Girl Rebel, exactly. Spine conditions. Tension headaches. Okay, Jay Oliver, y'all breaking it down. Family, this is helping other people. Can we talk, family? Now listen, we're using this as an example so they can't mess with your case. If you get somebody to represent you, let's say they're unaccredited or they're VSOs, you need to make sure you got this covered. We're using migraine headaches as an example, but this can be applied to different disabilities with some modification. All right, number 1, service treatment records, documenting any mention of migraines or related symptoms during service, or events that might cause it, like a concussion, like TBI. Those headaches can, now let me know, family, can headaches be secondary to a traumatic brain injury? I think so. Let me know if I'm correct with that. Number 2, medical records, including records from both the VA and private doctors detailing the diagnosis, treatment, and severity of the migraines. So when they talk about perverse incentives, ain't no incentives. We doing this based on the evidence, not based on a veteran being corrupted by wanting more money. Bet. Remember Fred, what's his name? Fred Flintstone. When he would bet, he said, bet. He got greedy behind money. That's not the case for most veterans here. Then number 3, a nexus letter. A letter from medical professionals linking the migraines to service-connected condition, medical professionals. So if some of these companies, whether they're accredited or not, can link you to medical professionals, the accredited people do it too. Hill and Punt, many of the law firms, they hook you up with medical professionals. From what I remember, I may be wrong, but that's what I've heard them say it. They got people that they can connect you to. Many people do that. That's not a crime. She say cervical spine and herniated disc. Okay. Farm Girl say, my VSO said I could not file for headaches because they were only for migraines. Duh. Now listen. I hear you, sister. I can understand your frustration. Jay Oliver say, TBI, I feel, is all inclusive. Yes, indeed. Now, once you have a nexus letter, which is a connection between your military service and the migraines or whatever condition that you are connected to, remember, clinical evidence is the same as medical evidence. All right? But you can get that clinical evidence through examinations too, not just the records. Number 4, DBQ for migraines. You got to go to the DBQ that's specifically for migraines. Specifically for, I think they might cover all headaches. I forget which one it is. specifically for migraines can help streamline the claim process because it'll tell you what symptoms where. This is what our sisters say. H-Town, they're acting like we are Martin when he won the lottery. Yeah, that's what they're acting like. We out here showboating. We about to cover that. Then we have, like I say, CMP exam for migraines, number 5. VA may require a CMP exam, may or may not. If you have enough stuff in your medical records, they may not. The VA may require a CMP exam, which is a compensation and pension exam, to assess the severity level of the migraines and determine the appropriate rating. Remember, they call that, once they get this evidence from the doctor or the CMP exam, they call it the severity assessment, where they're going to be going over what the doctor wrote in, and the doctor wrote in what you're reporting, how frequent your migraines happen in this example, how long they last, how it impacts your work and personal life. Family, remember those 4 areas? Huh? That's where your money at. That's where your severity level is. I said money. They gonna start talking to me. Let me shut up. Oh. When you said earlier, Brother Charleston, you said something earlier. Let me see, can I get what Brother Charleston said earlier? He said something about you said something, Brother Charleston, about you being an honest, like a reliable historian almost, you said. I can't find what you said. I can't find, you said something earlier. I don't know what it was, brother. You did say it. I can't find it. Yeah, honor system right here. He say, so the honor system, they talking about its severity, level of disability, condition, not the condition as it appears on paper, medical evidence. Well, yeah, now honor system, what's on paper is what the doctor's writing down what you said. So if you present a log, that's what you wrote. They're gonna either see that as legitimate, and I don't know why not, because people usually don't write down. If you have a migraine diary or app or log, let me know if you have any type of log you keep documenting your symptoms. And I know I've asked you this in the past, but this is for the new people in the group, that documents the frequency, duration, and the severity of the attack. Huh? How bad the attack is when it happens. These are the things you must be telling the doctor. Let me see. Betty Bob say, H-Town, they acting like, yeah, Martin on the lottery. Now, I had an ACE exam for headaches, tension headaches. Okay. Honor system, Charleston said, yes, indeed. That's what he said. So, yeah. So, like, for example, I'm a combat veteran. So nobody was out there filming what happened to me. So they have to take what I say at my word. I'm calling a reliable historian dealing with the situation I was in, unless they can prove that I'm lying or exaggerating. Once you approve of malandering, they have a name for it. And that's what they're saying in these Senate hearings, that we are malandering, that we're exaggerating our symptoms to get more benefits. That's the perversion, our malandering, because they're enticing us with these benefits they're dangling over us. Like we can't think for ourselves or something. Now, they making the block hot. People out here, certain veterans themselves are making the block hot because they got a lot of TikTok things where they're going over and they got veterans peacocking, and we call it showboating and strut walking and stuff, especially they put a black veteran up there. So you know when you put somebody black that they gonna want to shut everything down. That's what they did back in the 90s when I was going to college. We did studies where they would do commercials and they would put a car alarm system on a car, and they would have a black man just walk around the car, and that car alarm system, the sales shot up like that. Huh? You hear what I said? Or they would put a black man with a bouquet of flowers in his hand and show it for 3 seconds. Then they show a white man with a machine gun, and they say the black man was the one dangerous. Most of the people would say that. Now, let's say, I thought perverse was a mental condition, sexual, yeah. But they, that's kind of sick, ain't it? That we have to be perverted to accept the incentive. That means we messed up in the head. That's kind of insulting, ain't it? He tried to clean it up, fam. Watch out for showboating your benefits. Show me the money. Don't show nobody the money. Don't show nobody your benefits. We talking about it here to inform and help people, but never to brag. Have you ever seen a veteran walking around? I got this and I got this money. I get this here. Have you ever seen a veteran showboating like that? I don't know if I've really seen that. Might talk to, tell you about their benefits, but have you ever seen them out in public doing it? I had Psych 101, so I did too. Yes, indeed. Have you ever seen a veteran put a Y for yes or N for no? Maybe online, I don't know. Some people say. We have to stay on code, family. We have to stay on code. That's why I block people that are not on code, that's disrupting what we're trying to do, because other people are watching us. Now, we went through it. Where did you see people showboating? Jay Oliver said he saw people showboating and seeking attention, bragging about their benefits and their disability online. That is foolish. That's evidence against your benefits, saying that you had ulterior motives to get your benefits. So the question was, is the current VA compensation system corrupting veterans or properly rating disabilities? Meaning the severity assessment criteria. Now, is it doing what it's supposed to do? Now, okay, got to stop saying now. Farm Girl say, I seen some stuff with people showboating horribly, acting like they won the lottery. Seriously, all of that show is a poverty mindset. If you think 100% is a lottery win, yes, it is helpful. Let me say this here. How do we know they really veterans that's doing that? What if it's some hating non-veteran doing that? We have no way to prove that those were veterans that did that. That's out there showboating, bragging about their benefits, unless you know them personally and you've seen their award letter. It could be a veteran that don't have their benefits that's hating on other veterans that do. People lie, don't they? For attention, do they not? Tell me if I'm right. We just can't assume that. So helpful, yes, but it's not going to make one suddenly rich. No. So did we answer the question tonight, family? To your satisfaction? What's your opinion? Is the current VA compensation system corrupting veterans or properly rating disabilities? We answered the question, but what's your answer? Do you think it's corrupting veterans or doing this job and properly rating disabilities? What do you think of the current system? You could put corrupting or properly rating. H-Town, you said always to verify. Congress should also. Yes, indeed. Verify. Just everything you see online don't mean it's true. Let me pull this over where I can see y'all better. Now, we have our Sister Farm Girl Rebel. Who is getting hot up here, Farm Girl Rebel? Tell me if my air conditioner is too high, if it's making noise. Let me know, because I gotta turn this fan on. I bumped my mic. Let me know if my mic good, okay? Yeah, I say it sounds good. I bumped it, so sorry about that. And when I was turning that air on, because I feel better. Tell me if the fan is interfering. Somebody messing with me up there. Farm Girl Rebel messing with me. My air is on, but I'm up here, and you know how it is. I'm way up in the front, so what I got here? Now listen to what Farm Girl Rebel said, and I'm gonna put the question to the side. Okay. Now Farm Girl Rebel says, yeah. So if y'all want to answer the question, you can. How you feel? Do you think it's corrupt? You tell me if you think it's corrupting veterans. Meaning they're saying that the incentive program, I think, is working properly, but give your opinion. Now, as long as they follow the rules. Farm Girl say only one I know for sure ended up getting prosecuted for fraud because he was telling the VHA he was wheelchair bound, but then on TikTok was doing trampoline flips. Yeah, I saw that. Now, Farm Girl Rebel say Froster should be prosecuted, but don't drag the rest of us as Frosters. Yeah, they throwing mud on all of us. Isn't that what I mentioned? Air conditioning. Geez, y'all don't have air up there? Y'all say my sound is good? Okay. Big Blue says, if you are properly rated, you have done a lot of fighting. Yes, indeed. So should somebody question your proper rating? If you fought and you went to the CMP exam that the VA sent you to, they're questioning that too. So guess what they're saying? You know what they're saying? That you were faking it now. Because they're not questioning the CMP doctor that they sent you to. They saying the corrupt incentive is I want 100. I want 100. Now listen. Jay Oliver say the current system is not providing enough compensation at the beginning ratings to encourage veterans to strive to keep applying. Let me ask you, what do you think? Instead of starting at 170, by $175 at 10%, what do you think needs to be the minimum amount of money for a 10% rating for a veteran? It's at about $175 right now. How much you think a 10% disabled veteran should get? And how much do you think 100% disabled veteran should get? Let us know. Come on, fam. Our sister Farm Girl Rebel say, we have AC up here, but no need of it at this moment. Well, we're in Texas. What's that? It's see what it's 58, but I'm in the house. We like air conditioning, so we like air conditioning, and we don't open windows like that. So at 10%, Jay Oliver say we should start off with a 1,400. Do 10% first. 10%, we should get 1,400 according to Jay Oliver. At a 10% rating, how much should we get, family? How much should it start instead of $175? How much you think it should start off for a 10% rating? Can I get 140? Can I get 140? Let's see. Like the auctioneer. Let us continue. 10% rating. of the federal poverty level, which is $1,560. Okay, that's smart. That's smart. It should be at whatever the poverty level is. That is good. Both of y'all gave great ideas. And y'all said we answered the question, yes or no. You need to talk to Pastor Dougie Charleston. Let him know. Talk to Lieutenant Colonel Gad, and talk to Veteran of Foreign Wars. That's a great idea, brother. I know numbers. That is a smart, because it should be no less than the federal poverty level. Yes, indeed. And every veteran should be bumped up from there. Now, if this information has been informative, please smash that like button. Share it with others. We appreciate if you're able to do so. And subscribe. Now, what our brothers say here, but wouldn't they say 100% is a midget above the poverty level? I don't get it. I don't get it. Smidget above. Tell me what you mean by that, sister. Yes, we answered the question. Okay, thank you. Fam, we do it. Let me know what you mean by that, Phone Girl Rubber. I got kind of few. We're not going over VA law. We will be going over in the future, but not tonight. Let's get into veteran news, family. We thank you for being so kind. We thank you for being so patient. We thank you for everything, fam. We get into this stuff. Yes, indeed. I got to make these things smaller. I had them big, 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 big. So, family, now if you told us how much we should get at the start at 10%, tell us what we should get at 100%, those that have answered. Now, so our sister, Farm Girl Rebel, I think percentages should be based on real math. So if 100% is $3,800, then 10% should be $380. Now that's smart. I like that. So how the percentages, real smart. Both of y'all. Man, Charles say, Farm Girl Rebel, VA math just doesn't math. No, it doesn't. I like that. It should be 10% of whatever you get at the 100% rate. Yes, indeed. Now, Farm Girl Rebel says, but if the federal poverty level is $18,000, then they'll drop 100% VA to $19,000. Wow, $1,000. Yeah, that's how politicians work. Let me ask. So, if you get $1,600 a year, you divide that by 12. That'll be less. I think you talking about the poverty level. You should get the poverty level every month, every year. 1,600 every month, or every divided by 12 months. Now that's a logical Farm Girl. Yeah, that's logical. Now, family, we're gonna get into it. And we thank you for being here. We're going to get ready for the first part of our video. So let's get ready for it, family. I thank you. So we're going to turn the music off. We thank you for your patience. Let's see what we got here. So veteran news, we're gonna cover veteran news now. And first thing we want to do is honor those. Remember, Veterans Day is on Tuesday, November the 11th is Veterans Day. May not have a broadcast before that. Usually we do one on benefits. Go watch our old video on food places if you'd like to. Food restaurants to eat at. Now listen, Charleston, but Social Security doesn't match the VA. No, it doesn't. You get much more through the VA in my opinion. It's all or none over there. So, family, we're about to watch a reaction video of a roundtable, veteran benefits roundtable that they had in Congress. And I think it was hosted by the Democrats, of course. Fair use, fair use. Now, when we get started with the video, please let us know if the sound is okay. Give us some speakers or say sound okay in the chat, right? So we're going to get started with this senator who I particularly really like the way he talks. And does Pastor Dougie talk? No, he doesn't talk. Not in this video. No trigger for you today. Now let's listen. Guess who is going to talk? Mr. Perverse Incentives. We're going to hear from him. He's trying to clean up what he said before. And let's see, does he do a good job in doing so? Fair use, fair use. So let's get started with this.
You, Ranking Member Takano, for first of all hosting this meeting and allowing for this discussion on protecting veterans benefits. To your question on where the priorities should be, from the Veterans of Foreign Wars, we've been very outspoken about the nature of veterans benefits.
This man is everywhere speaking on our behalf. Takano, yeah, Takano. I have a lot of respect for him. Now, when the other guy come in, I don't care for him. The one that's the ranking member right now, I can't say his name right now. Hakeem Jeffries, don't care for him. His uncle is a strong person in our community, but I don't care for him. Not at all. He's a Judas to me. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to feel the same way. But I like to him, this senator here. I like him. Whether they Democrat or Republican, I like some Republicans too now. Now, Farm Girl Rebel, Pastor MIA, Pastor MIA, hope he's okay. You dropped some bars. He's probably invited Gabe. Let's see. Listen to what he says. Remember, I roasted him for his dog whistle statement talking about perverse incentives. Well, I did that on several videos. He brings that up, trying to clean that up. And you let us know, did he do a good job in cleaning up his statement?
I would request that the best, that through strong offense, we defend the benefits that we have. During the Senate hearing last week, we talked to the issue of perverse incentives for veterans.
You heard him. He say strong offense. It's almost like he's been listening to what I say. Am I the one that said we need to go on the offense? Am I the one that said that we need to ask for more benefits? Now, I may be paranoid because I suffer from it. But this man sounds like he's using my playbook. So different from when he was talking to the majority of Republicans that was in charge on that last one. Not that all of them was Republican, but it seemed like it was Republican led. Now he over here talking something. Isn't that something? He wasn't that aggressive in that last hearing. He talked somewhat. We got to see. I give him respect when respect is due. Dougie probably down at Mar-a-Lago playing golf. Oh, hold on. No, not while veterans are suffering and veterans are being attacked. Pastor Dougie wouldn't do that. He's somewhere praying for us. Huh? H-Town, letter of thanks in mail to you, I'm sure. Oh, listen to what he's saying here.
That the best, that through strong offense, we defend the benefits that we have.
Strong offense. Y'all know I'm the one that said that. I'm not saying he watching, but it's so a coincidence that they use my talking points. Yeah, he's praying for us on the 18th green. That's cold, man. That's cold.
During the Senate hearing last week, we talked to the issue of perverse incentives for veterans who file their benefit claims.
Perverse incentives for filing a claim. He called the perverse incentive Chapter 35 educational benefits and Champ VA healthcare benefits. He said that they were perverse, that they give us, they perverse, they make us corrupted and wanted to have those benefits and do anything to get them. Now let's see if he cleans it up.
I commented that things like concurrent receipt kicking in at 50% disability.
Meaning concurrent receipt, meaning at 50%, you can get your full military retirement and your full VA compensation without an offset. He won't even mention he's talking about military retirement. Somewhat deceptive language, in my opinion.
Is a perverse incentive. What we've seen over the years from looking at veterans transitioning out of the military, I would argue that one of the greatest gaps is access to care, but not necessarily for the veteran, but for that veteran's family as well.
Oh, now this joker done got slick. Listen to him. Say, my mom said to watch out for those perverse guys in service. Yes, indeed. Yeah, and the ones always calling people perverted, watch them. MG Smith say, you know he's projecting its throwback on him. Yes. You know some people got on his back. They got on his bumper for that. Now listen, this joker just said, he first said you shouldn't get it at 100%. Now he's saying, now he's trying to finesse his language. They should get it soon as the veteran get out. Their family should get health care. He kind of implying that without saying it. Hold on, you went from saying that we shouldn't get it at 100%. It's perverse. If it's perverse at 100% to get educational benefits and healthcare benefits for your dependents, why it ain't perverse at 0% or when they get out? It's perverse no matter where it's at. It'll be a perversion for a veteran getting out. Oh, I'm gonna go in the military so I can get health care for my family as soon as I get out. That's perversion. That's an incentive from your standpoint. Listen to what this joker's saying.
It doesn't kick in until 100% service-connected disability. State municipal benefits, property tax relief, many times. I commented that things like concurrent receipt kicking in at 50% disability is a perverse incentive. What we've seen over the years from looking at veterans transitioning out of the military, I would argue that one of the greatest gaps is access to care, but not necessarily for the veteran, but for that veteran's family as well. Family care, Champ VA, doesn't kick in until 100% service-connected disability. State municipal benefits, property tax relief, many times don't kick in until 100% service-connected disability.
Okay, let's understand. He's being slick now. The state benefits is not covered by the federal government. They ain't got nothing to do with it. The federal government don't have no ride over what the state benefits. If the states say, you know what, if you're 100% disabled, we're going to give you free property tax exemption. That ain't got nothing to do with the federal government. So why he bringing that up? He should be talking to state representatives. That's a perverse incentive too. You need to talk to the states about it. And the states ain't complaining. They the one providing it. You don't hear none of the states saying, you know what? This is a perverse incentive for us to let the veterans ride the tollways for free. So us to give them a property tax exemption, for us to give them educational benefits, for us to give their dependents educational benefits. They not complaining, but the VSOs are calling them perverse incentives. You too, Brutus? Isn't that what Caesar said when his friend stabbed him? That was supposed to have been his loyal friend. He said, you too, Brutus? Not just my enemies, my friend. I thought they supposed to be representing us. I ain't letting them make it. You can't clean that up. You're going to have to come and confess your sins. You got to come and atone for what you said, partner. You got to ask for forgiveness for what you said and said you said it in error. You keep trying to clean up the garbage that you put out and you keep messing it up. Vomiting all over the place. Now listen to what Charleston say. I told her after boot camp the Navy went over perverse under USMC. Yes, you don't describe no veterans' motives as perverse. That the incentives make veterans perverse to seek these things. No, we seek our benefits because we've earned them. They're in the contract. He knows this. That if we get injured, that they have a responsibility to take care of us. He's saying that we making it up. In my opinion, that's what he's saying. We making it up that, oh, these perverse incentives make us make perverse statements about being service connected when we're not. And why would you use the word perversion? That is so disrespectful to refer in any way to veterans' motives or intents as perverse. Now, the state do that to attract veterans. There's nothing perverse about it. They want veterans in their area. That's right. Come on, man. Hold on. Did I miss a lot of stuff? I feel like I missed up. Family, I got to get down. Hold on. I got to make sure. Okay, I did get all the ones. Okay, now let's listen to what he's saying.
If we really allow more equitable access to these benefit programs, I think we better serve our veterans. It may sound odd, well, we're asking for more. We're asking to expand family care through the CHAMP VA program.
Now he want to expand family care through the CHAMP VA program. Listen, then they're going to cut our benefits somewhere else. So you saying that a veteran with a 0% rating, I'm saying they should get benefits, should get CHAMP VA and Chapter 35 educational benefits. So all veterans got to do is get the same. So we're going to give them the same amount of money too at 0% and 100%. Now it's not based on severity level no more. It's based on just being a veteran. That means anybody can go in the military, get the veteran status, leave after 2 or 3 months, say they got hurt, and then get paid for the rest of their life. That will cause corruption. It has to be based on severity level of condition. They just need to make the system work properly that they have in place. He's doing a whole bunch of who shot John. This ain't nothing backed up by VA law. He doesn't have he's babbling, just like Dr. Gade. He don't have any system set up, or he don't have any proposal set up to explain what he's talking about.
We're asking for structure. And
how can you ask for structure if you didn't send out a structured statement?
We're asking to allow for greater access.
Greater access now. So now they want to put more burden where people will target us more. If you think disabled veterans are being targeted, if they let it open just to anybody that's a veteran and getting full benefits, they'll take the whole program and shut it down. Oh, you give them to veterans that's in triathlons too? You got veterans that don't have no disability, but at 0%, you're going to get to the average veteran? He didn't say disabled veteran. He said regular veteran. How you going to give non-disabled veteran stuff that's going to veterans that have a loss of income? And they don't have a loss of income. They trying to muddy the water, fam, in my opinion.
To ensure that veterans, when they file their disability benefit claim, that once they receive their rating, that a predatory company can't entice them to want to go a little bit further or go a little bit further.
Look, can't entice them to want to go a little bit further. Aren't you hearing this here? Go a little bit further, file for an increase. Why can't he just say file for an increase? Remember what Pastor Dougie said, that that's a victim if you keep going back and back. He said go a little bit further. Why can't he look at that sister to the right of him, look at him crazy? You see that sister looking at him? That sister ain't feeling that. She over the homeless program. And she dealing with, I think that's the sister dealing with the homeless program. Yes, she want to go a little bit further because that veteran's homeless on the street. You see how she looking at him? Go a little bit further. He represents one of the oldest veteran organizations. Shouldn't he represent us well? And they somewhat discriminatory in their name because they're veteran of foreign wars. I think you got to be a veteran of a foreign war to be part of them. Okay, so are you talking for all veterans? Talk to me. Look at how that sister looking at him. Like you say, Brother Charleston, chaos. M.G. Smith say chaos. Family, y'all got to pay attention when people talk.
Also destigmatizing what veterans benefits are. I think we've done that deliberately through things like the PACT Act. And, you know, the VFW was named in today's Washington Post article as well.
Listen, destigmatize. How can you destigmatize veteran benefits when you call them perverse incentives? You call them bad policy. Do you realize that the Washington Post and other papers will take that and run with it? They'll say that a representative for the veteran of foreign war said that these benefits are perverse incentives. He's giving them ammo against us. Am I overreacting? Please let me know. Bible says, by ye fruits ye shall be known. These guys are fruits. Yeah. Oh, I tell you.
Trying to malign our program on military installations. Our program, Disabled American Veterans, was named as well. As if the public service that we're providing to transitioning service members is somehow malevolent, like we're trying.
Now he's claiming to be the victim. We victim for filing extra claims because of unaccredited claims agents convincing us to go for more, go for more. Now they the victim. What about us? You supposed to take it because you supposed to be representing us.
Trying to exploit benefits loophole. When I spoke to that reporter 3 weeks ago, I told her point blank that there's a stark difference between telling a service member who has been suffering with a chronic health condition to go to the doctor and get it documented before the uniform comes off, and then targeting them with ads to seek 100% for profit.
This dude gave them the ammo to attack us. He talked to the Washington Post reporter from what he said. He telling on himself. This dude went up there. Well, I told them both sides of it. Just like when you go into a CMP exam, family, listen to me. If you go into a CMP exam and say, you know, they ask you, do you feel bad or good? And if you say, well, most days I feel bad, but one day I feel good, they're only going to talk about the good. You go into reporters and say, is the system corrupt? No, it's not. It's fair for the veterans. But these people over here, he's trying to witch hunt the unaccredited claim people. That is corrupting veterans. They going to say corrupting veterans. They ain't going to say the other part. Now he mad that they didn't tell the whole story because we don't know what you said behind closed doors. If you don't get out here, Judas Goat, he fruit, Judas Goat, what a dummy. He thought that a newspaper was going to print what he said the way he said it. Is he insane? And who knows what he said behind closed doors? Because I see what he's saying in public. He probably said some slick stuff and trying to cover it up. Come on now, fam.
I said it in the Senate hearing as well. We've testified before both chambers of Congress 15 times about the fraudulent medical exam issue, and it seems that one party continues to stonewall that. And that's tragic.
Now they're trying to make it a party thing. Now they're trying to say the Republicans is a stonewalling it. He was up there kissing up to the Republicans, talking about perverse incentives. Now he's talking about he up in front of Democrats. Now he kissing up to them. Huh? You cannot serve two masters. You'll love one and hate the other. You'll clean the one and deny the other. Man, if you don't get out of here with that. And people probably surprised that I'm going in on this guy. I don't like, you can't see, Jesus said, I would rather you be hot or cold, but because you are lukewarm, I spit you out of my mouth. You understand? Let me say again. He said he'd rather you be hot or cold, but because you're lukewarm, I spit you out of my mouth. That's what Jesus said. He can't stand people over the fence. He'd rather be totally out there bad, prostituting, doing whatever they do on drugs, or a person trying to do right, not one that's on the fence, back and forward. I'm on your side. Some of the worst people in the military are spies. We got more respect for our enemies than we do for spies that play both sides. Am I lying? Come on now. Tell me if I'm lying. Now listen to what our brother Jay Oliver say. The veterans of foreign war should go into the homeless community and shop for Korean service vets and other vets of GWOT, and I don't know what GWOT means, and create tiny housing communities. That sister trying to do it. I heard her talking. She talked heavy. I probably have to go over her some other time if we get a chance. Now, Farm Girl Rebel say, I think they are going to go after the unaccredited consultants as well, where they want to go after them, but we're going to be the ones that catch the stray and that they're not careful. He went to go attack them probably, but by bringing them up, they don't want to focus on them. They'll say they name these newspapers, but they're attacking us as veterans, saying, well, if we'll just go straight after the veteran, forget them agencies. If the veterans wouldn't go to them, then they wouldn't be as popular. So let's just go after the veterans. We don't like them anyway. Now listen, all under the umbrella that we vets are too stupid to stay away from sharks. Look what he said. Listen to what he said. I agree, Farm Girl. Look what he said. Family, if you're just coming into the room, let us know you're here. You have to be subscribed for at least 5 days, and you'll be able to chat.
Benefits loophole. When I spoke to that reporter 3 weeks ago, trying to malign our program on military installations, our program, Disabled American Veterans, was named as well, as if the public service that we're providing to transitioning service members is somehow malevolent, like we're trying to exploit benefits loophole. When I
Well, see, he thought by going to the Washington Post that they would see him as the great savior. They would see him as the good guy, him and other VSOs that are accredited, and see the unaccredited people as the bad guys. Okay, so it means global war on terror. Okay. And vets of global war on terror and create tiny housing community. I agree with that. Now listen, Farm Girl Rebel says, I think they are going to go after the unaccredited consultants as well, all under the umbrella. I read this before, but I'm reading again, that we veterans are too stupid to stay away from sharks. That's why I did this.
Spoke to that reporter 3 weeks ago. I told her point blank that there's a stark difference between telling a service member who has been suffering with a chronic health condition to go to the doctor and get it documented before the uniform comes off, and then targeting them with ads to seek 100% for profit.
So they mentioned nothing in the article about oh Lord, I ain't got it up there. They mentioned nothing in the article about documenting things. They only mention the corruption. They want the juicy part. That's how they get people to watch.
I said it in the Senate hearing as well. We've testified before both chambers of Congress 15 times about the fraudulent medical exam issue, and it seems that one party continues to stonewall that. And that's tragic.
Now you throwing them under the bus. Why didn't you speak up against the Republicans when they was there? I don't like people that talk about people when they're not in their presence. Say the party you're talking about. Now you're in front of Democrats being nice to them. When you was in front of Republicans, you being nice to them. Now listen to what Charleston say. Jesus didn't like traitors. He'd rather have tax collectors as friends. Yes, indeed. Where did he hang around? The tax collectors and the prostitutes. Because he say those that are whole don't need a doctor, but those that are sick do. That's what he said. Now, let's get to what he was saying about we can't, like she said, we stupid. We can't handle our own business.
I've appreciated the support from you and from your caucus on the issue of fraudsters entering that space. I know there will probably be some more dialogue on that. But last, I'll close with, when I talk about destigmatizing benefits access, there seems to be a growing mainstream narrative about, well, is it combat injuries? Well, you've heard us talk about honor the contract that we all sign. Those of us who enlisted signed a contract that committed benefits for us. One of the clauses is to report upon order to combat or other hazardous situations. And a lot of people seem to not understand that second clause. Other hazardous situations. Places like Kachikarabad, places like service on a submarine, places like serving on an air crew, domestic training, overseas duty locations that could be hazardous.
Getting frostbite in Alaska. So yes, so I respect him for saying that. I appreciate that. But the Bible says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you got to be careful with him. He put out good information out of one side of his neck, then the other side he's spewing out a whole bunch of garbage.
So setting the record straight on what veterans benefits are, and that many, a service member can't just walk away from that contract. We honored our end of the contract, and we ask our leaders to do the same. And I would certainly invite the Democratic caucus, eager to have a dialogue on how to level the playing field on benefit programs like care access, like concurrent receipt. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Your comments on the perverse incentives, it's gotten me thinking of, the incentives of the Champ VA kicking in at, these things don't come unless you get 100% disability. And if we thought of these things differently, we wouldn't incentivize people to, by hook or crook, try to get to that 100% number.
See, I'm sure the senator has good intentions, but this man is representing it in a way that'll make this senator have this senator do stuff to change the laws that might hurt us, because he don't fully know what's going on. He's taking his word for it. We don't need these people speaking for us, because they go up there and the senator try to do something to help us, and might hurt us. Because this guy talking out the side of his neck. He's influencing senators. He's going from one meeting to another. He said he's been to about 4 or 5 of them, running his mouth. I didn't get this VFW guy. Whose side is he on, huh? Is he on God's side? Is he on his team? That's the old gospel song. Whose side he on? Whose team he on? Right.
Unnecessarily. But we want everyone who has disabilities to make the appropriate claims. We don't want people to not do that. So
see, he's trying to do the right way. I don't. I get this senator for his work because I heard him speak up and always be consistent. But you don't want nobody messing his mind up. He think he doing something to help us because he had these veteran service officers say this stuff, but it's actually against us. Come on now. Man, he come up there talking. He say, "Oh, I never thought about that." Well, we may not want him to think about that because this man telling him stuff that you may need to talk to one of us. And the problem with talking to just one of us, you have somebody up there like that expert troll or some of these other guys that got 100% that had the band, they'll be up there saying stupid stuff, saying, "No, you shouldn't get to nobody else but me." So we don't want everybody speaking for us. We want the person that's qualified. They want to debate me. I say, in the words of my elder, I only debate my equals. All others I teach. You understand? Shout out Dr. John Henry Clark. Rest in power, brother, my elder. You understand? We don't want people speaking for us that's double-minded, inconsistent. Now, here we go. That's all he heard out of everything he said. That's why you got to be careful presenting stuff to these senators. Takeo mind now stuck on 100%, and he needs a debrief. We don't need nobody putting this stuff in our senator's mind because he gonna be thinking about how to make the money work right and all that. So, public Congress saying veterans perverse are victims. Yeah, they saying some of that. Yeah, and we can't speak for ourselves. We're like simpletons to these big bad claim consultants.
Let me just say one other thing. We've done codels to bases. I'm forgetting the name of that program where you certify, you document these things beforehand.
Benefits delivery at discharge.
Yeah,
yes.
Is BDD.
Yes.
Yes, BDD.
Talking about before you get out the military. So he trying to do the right thing. And I appreciate him being informed the way he is. He got a lot on his plate, man. I'm not saying he's the best person in the world. He's trying to do things. He do more effort when he get before public. He's speaking, and he got on Pastor Dougie, but I like that. Huh? I did like that. Now, he got on him, and he was informed when he talked to him. He wasn't barking at him. He was getting that information and respect. Now, let's go on to the next. We're going to do this here, family, fair use, fair use. We're going to continue to say fair use. Now we're going to talk about another person going to speak on the round table, veteran round table. This happened about, a week ago or so? And the name of it was Protecting the Promise, the Past, Veteran, and Future Dealing with Veterans. But I do kind of appreciate this now. Coach say, did this guy start all of this by going to the reporter? Family, you're going to make me want to end the live stream. Opening his big mouth, trying to go after. Yes, brother. I believe so. He went and opened his big mouth to these news agencies to attack the claim sharks so he could be the only guy on the block. We call it dirty macking. Okay? In the hood, we call it dirty macking. So if I'm trying to holler at a female, then this other guy come up and say, "Hey, if I was you, I wouldn't deal with him because he wouldn't treat you like I treat you." That's dirty macking. So this guy he goes up to the Washington Post thinking that they really take his word, and he got all these little hats on and stuff. Listen, I'm better than these unaccredited claims agents. I'm working accredited as a VSO accredited with the veteran affairs. They like, okay, tell us more. And then they write whatever they want. They want the dirt. Yeah, he probably started. Seems so, Coasty. See, only us bringing this out. Nobody else bringing this out like that. Okay? To that point. I can't say nobody. Salty Marine, he said he hit on some of these points. Now I got to give him I got to give him respect for that. So what he's saying is he's talking about the benefits being expansive. He's saying even with the medical board, when they get out the military, it's not at every base. It's haphazard. It's only in certain places. He taught me something I didn't know there. I thought almost every base. I know they had limited, but I didn't know they didn't do the military board, disability board on the way out. They didn't do it at every base. He just taught me something. Thank God for you, Senator. I respect people when they say the truth, and if I disagree, I'll say it. But I'm not going to speak against somebody just because they, just to be contrary. I'm not going to do that. Now, family, move up. I'm gonna pull the video back up. Now, let me get up here. This person talks about the Washington Post article and does a pretty good job. I appreciate him. And so we skipping through, family. And so we have Brother Charleston says, remember, Coastie, loose lips sink ships. We sunk. Oh, Lord. Yeah, you can't. He up there talking. Thank you, Coastie, for bringing it up. Our Coast Guard member bringing it all out, and they won't even mention the Coast Guard in there. And you see how many busts the Coast Guards have been making when it comes to drugs, when it comes protecting our coastline. Why they not getting the respect they deserve? They get it here. We represent it and acknowledge Coast Guard on their birthday. Hold on, somebody's birthday coming up. I hope I ain't miss it. Now let's listen. Let me know when it's somebody else's birthday. Yeah, let me get that 39. All right, now we're going to get to it here. Jay Oliver says, they spending millions to combat unaccredited instead of holding claim clinics in communities in their zip code. Wow. Do y'all hear Jay Oliver? That money they using to fight unaccredited claim agents who ain't stopped, ain't slowed down. They still doing what they do because veterans are going to them for help. They could use that money to inform us about our benefits and how to file on our own, so we don't need other people to help us like that. They won't tell us, so we're going to respect the ones that gave us game. Let me tell you something. Family, I told you I'm from the hood. So many times we got the game from the hustlers on the street. Huh? When we be walking, they would tell us stuff about life and how to do things and say, hey, you don't want to be on these streets like I am. You need to do this, this, and this, and this is what you need to avoid. They tell us. There wasn't no straight lace out there. When a guy had gifted talent to be a basketball player, football player, say, hey, you can't come out here. You get away from us. Now, if you need some shoes or something, you need something for your sports, I'll help you out, but you don't come out here. You're going to be doing more with your life. Did you hear what I said? Watch that movie about MC Hammer when the brother from Oakland, he said, man, come on with us. That was a hustle. He said, no, I'm good, man. He said, all them people got around you, man. They just using you. He said, I wouldn't do you like that, bro. Huh? Say, right, Charleston. Now, let's see where we at. Now, let's hear this gentleman talk. I don't know. His thing is upside down, his sign. So we're going to see who he is, who's representing. Fair use, fair use.
Of service earned benefits. Now, when I read the article, I first went back to an old adage that
and he's talking about the Washington Post article.
There are three sides to every story. And when I read that particular article, it seemed that not even one side of the story was even fully addressed. The article was hyper-focused, to your point, on these anecdotes, and it was in the space of anti-fraud investigations, claims, and prosecutions that seemed to warrant results that prove the integrity of anti-fraud procedures that are in place currently. But there are also those veterans, again, to the points made earlier, that unfortunately may, through years of honorable service, have rightfully earned benefits that they are being denied. What I did not see in the Washington Post article was any mention, for example, to the 2023 GAO report that showcased that for members of the Reserve and National Guard, they are less likely to have their initial disability compensation claims approved.
You hear that? And I wonder if it's the same for the Coast Guard. Do they get mistreated too? That their initial claims be disapproved. Listen what Farm Girl Rebel says. She say didn't have street hustlers, but did have old time farmers with a lot of knowledge that saved me a boatload of money over the years. That hey, wherever we at, you had them farmers out there handling their business. We'll call them farming hustlers. You don't mean no put no derogatory term on them. If you want to see kind of how the game is, it's kind of extreme. That's one of the ruthless hustlers. If you ever watch Morgan Freeman in a movie with Christopher Reed before he passed away, he played in a movie named Street Smart. Now that's what a ruthless pimp looked like. Now, not all of them was like that, but that's the street in the game now. Huh? They called him on that movie the Times Square Pimp. Yeah, but he got that from somewhere. They asked him, where did you get that? He said, were you a pimp? They had to ask him. He said, no. He said, but I studied them. Can we call them corn hustlers? Corn huckers. Corn huckers. Okay, we'll call them corn huskers. Okay, yes. Oh, man. Oh, Lord, you are too much. Thank you, sister. Okay, now, this gentleman making very good points.
Because of systemic challenges within the system itself. From 2011 to 2023, the VA approved 11 to 20% less disability compensation claims for reserve component members. And that was regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of branch and service, and to build on the...
Now, that's for the reserves and National Guard. For the regular military, it was based on race. Black veterans got less claims approved that were active duty. That came out about a year ago. I'm gonna find that study for you. So, but in the National Guard, it didn't matter. You National Guard and Reserve, they treat you different than regular Army, and they shouldn't, because all of us went through basic training.
Introduction to the lexicon of this idea that being a veteran depends on whether or not you served in combat. This also was regardless of whether or not that service was in time of war or in time of peace. So
what he's saying is they're hypocritical, because if you were reserved or National Guard, even if you served in combat, they didn't want to give you your benefits. They always hollering combat veteran, but they was mistreating the National or the Reserve, because I think they activated reserves when I was in Desert Storm too.
From ROA's perspective, there are a lot of different perspectives that need to be put out there and circulated in order to combat those dangerous narratives. I think related to your question about how this came to be, I think that despite the fact that the founders constructed a constitutional system of government that was intended to not necessarily move quickly, the nature of information exchange and misinformation is rapidly increasing as well, which is creating complications in the overall policy process. And so I think that it is...
That misinformation that's being put out there about us, they just like this guy almost messed up the senator trying to help us. He's sitting there. I know he's trying to help us, because if he wasn't, he'd be playing politics. He's trying to do something that's helping us. Now I say, let's see. We call these hearings back in the 60s and 70s shuck and jive talks, don't mean nothing. Yeah. Now let's go on to the next one, because he's doing a lot of lip service, but he made some good points. But what you gonna do about it, homie? That's what's important. So let me move up to the next section. Any comments, question, concern, let us know. Now they brought up Project 2025, family. What y'all know? Do you think Project 2025 has something to do with it? If you know about Project 2025, do you think that has something to do with the way our benefits are being affected? Put a Y for yes and an N for no. That's something what the Republicans were doing. I don't know much about it. It don't really matter to me. Now let's listen. Do you think Project 2025 got anything to do with the way our benefits are being attacked? MG Smith say yes. Charleston say yes. Boy, I'm surprised. Y'all know more. Y'all know about 2025, Project 2025 more than I know. Anybody else? I don't know because I don't know much about it.
Kayla Williams.
Thank you so much, Ranking Member Takano and other representatives who have joined us today. I want to briefly address your question of why this may be happening now. And I believe that it is part of the overall plan laid out in Project 2025 to chip away at the role of government as a force for good in the lives of Americans overall. We see in the Post article this effort.
So she talking about Project 2025. Jay Oliver said yes to Project 2025. Oh, he was very smart. I had to give it to him. Yale Department of Economics, that last guy. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I think he was very well spoken, very informed. Now, I don't know if he has political aspirations, but I respect what he's saying. Now, MG Smith say, and there it is. Oh, Lord, y'all something else. Let's go.
To indicate ways that we could save money by breaking the promise that we have made to our nation's veterans. We could save $33 billion over 10 years by no longer covering certain ordinary diseases that may in fact be more likely among those who have served overseas, who have served at home and been exposed to various toxic chemicals. At the same moment.
Now listen, the Washington Post article was saying how you can save money by not paying these veterans the same thing that Lieutenant Colonel Gadd was saying. Same exact thing as the Washington Post. Huh? Almost like they're reading from the same script. Let me hear what the sister's saying here.
That the government has chosen under this administration to send $40 billion to Argentina in 1 year. So looking at this comparison, it makes...
So they send $40 billion to Argentina, but they want to cut our benefits so they can send the money somewhere else?
It's clear that it is an absolutely absurd way to try to chip away at the benefits that we have earned through our honorable service while putting the needs of others ahead of us. I also want to mention the importance of VRE in this moment, Chapter 31, Veterans Readiness and Employment Benefits. This processing of applications for VRE has been shut down.
Formerly known as Voc Rehab. Listen to what she's saying.
During the current government shutdown, which is not reasonable for everyone who is suffering by having no movement at all made on their applications for benefits. And that is coming on the heels of many, many years of VRE counselors being severely overburdened with excessive caseloads that have led to slow processing overall. And having that looked at in the long run, I think, is also incredibly important. The really stringent requirements for what those employees must have for their own educations to be able to process benefits, and the overwhelming caseloads that are leading to them resigning at high rates and being unable to keep up with the course load for folks who are only eligible because they are already disabled. And it is incredibly important that we ensure that those veterans are able to access their earned benefits. Thank you.
Yeah,
she made powerful statements. Now, Betty said we have 18 likes and 12 watching. Thank y'all, family. Let's continue.
Thank you, Kayla. There's a number of issues related to the shutdown, the unavailability of the counselors to sign off on credits. But I'm going to cut my response short. Obviously, we're delighted to have.
Oh, this the one I don't want. I don't care for him, so I don't want him talking about Hakeem Jeffries. I don't care for him. He said they should send. He voted, supposed to be a Democrat. He voted to send troops into Chicago and to Washington D.C. and he supposed to be against that. Well, we were scared of backlash. No, you don't stand against your people like that. You're a traitor to me. I'm sorry, that's a personal issue. I shouldn't put my personal bias on him. But his uncle is a rider. I don't care for him. Traitor to his people, in my opinion. I don't care for him. I don't want to hear him say nothing. So let me move this thing up, because that's gonna run me hot. He make me sick to my stomach with that. Now let me move on. I'm sorry, family. I had a personal breakdown. Please forgive me. It's an inside family issue, so I do apologize. When some of us get someplace, get the big head. He there just to show off his position, because he's the ranking guy. I respect people getting somewhere. Don't do your people like that. Throw them under the bus. And all your representatives. You supposed to be representing people, and you vote for something that was against the regular American? Say yes, okay. Let me get to it. Now this Hispanic brother, he break it down. I like what he said. We forgive H-Town. We all got issues. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad person. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm telling you, I don't like greasy stuff people do. You first act like you for your people, then you turn coat. Nah, man, I ain't for that. H-Town at ease. At ease. At ease. Stand down. Stand down. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, even H-Town got triggers. You ever watch The Office? You ever watch, he say, yes, okay. You ever watch The Office and remember Michael? He could not stand, what was that guy name? He was the HR guy. He say, stand down. He say, stand down, H-Town, chill. Okay, I will. I got problems, y'all know I got problems. Yeah, I don't care for him. Huh? I don't have nothing to say to him. Nothing nice. I wouldn't have nothing nice to say to him. Yeah, whatever. The Supreme Court has something to say about that. Let's see if they follow the law. Now, what about what? Let's know, Andrew Smith. Now, let me let this brother talk. Why did I come up? Something I want to say to you, but let's go back to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ranking Member Takano, thank you for hosting this.
Now, he's going to talk about the impact the Washington Post article has on veterans. This is a powerful thing to me.
Members of Congress that are here today.
Now, I don't know who he's with. Is he with who? What organization he with?
Prioritizes
the Veterans something. The American Legion. He with the American Legion, I think.
So I want to especially thank you for making time and make this your top priority this morning. And Leader Jeffrey, sir, we are blessed and honored to have you attend as well and prioritize this and elevate this on your schedule.
Oh, Lord, they worshiping him. They acknowledging him. I know they doing the respect thing. Oh, I didn't want to hear that part. Oh, family, I want my medication there. I ain't got nothing good to say about him. I ain't saying he all bad, but I don't care for him. He ain't good between me and him. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back. Let me get back. Woosah.
I'm not going to belabor a lot of points that have been brought up already, but two of our top priorities are directly tied into the Washington Post article. The first one is ending what I call the war within, which is veteran suicide. It's an epidemic, it's a pandemic. And one of the things that the Washington Post article is probably doing is creating a new stigma that was already mentioned by DAV, which is, I'm not going to go get health care. And we already know that a large majority.
Y'all mentioned that earlier, that if veterans going to get hassled, they're not going to go get health care. And if you have thoughts of harming yourself, don't you think, shouldn't the Washington Post be more careful? How do they know how reckless it is to sit there and to make veterans feel like, oh, you saying I'm a crook? I don't want to even deal with the system. It took us a long time to go in there. H-Town, let's see. They all got to praise to get juice. I know. But he say such good things. I wish he wouldn't hype that dude up. Oh, man, I couldn't stand it. Not him. Lord. Maybe Takako. He cool. That other dude, man. No, he ain't invited to the barbecue. No, yeah. He ain't invited. I don't care, man. And I ain't saying he like a total bad person. He just, like I say with the Office, that guy, what was his name? Toby. Michael could not stand Toby. That's how I feel about this dude. Toby may not have been a real bad guy. He was the Scranton Strangler, though. In the show, people didn't realize that. But man, yeah, he just irritates me. Maybe H-Town need to be more kind. Now the coaches say there's a section in Project 2025 for what veteran benefits to cut. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, we need somebody, better anybody, y'all get a handle of those benefits that should be cut in Project 2025. I'm gonna look it up, and y'all get me the information.
Majority of veterans do not even serve on or get their health care by VA, and our fear is that.
So most veterans don't even get their health care from VA. So what's the deal? Why are they complaining about veterans?
Articles like the Washington Post that is now convincing veterans who already don't want to go to VA because they don't think they're hurt enough, they're not combat veterans, they're not going to get the help that they need, and it's going to elevate and increase that suicide epidemic and pandemic. The second thing I want to talk about, and I'll keep this very short and to the point, we need to hold unaccredited and predatory claim companies accountable. We need to pass laws in Congress that are going to provide oversight and restore penalties. We need to ensure that VA is funded for enforcement and that we publicly list these unaccredited representatives in locations so that the veterans and the community and the VSOs can all know that what we are dealing with. And so we ask you for help.
I'm not saying I'm totally against that. I'm not going to say that. But I think people should be able to operate outside the system if they're not exploited. But there needs to be something in place that if they're doing something to harm veterans, but not to harass the ones that are helping veterans. Though.
In that particular situation, both of those are very near and dear to our hearts. And I would like, in closing, to say the Washington Post isn't the first article that came out. Back in November, I was interviewed by Task and Purpose on an article by The Economist.
They kept going. The Economist, that paper did a hit piece on him too. He got interviewed. So they was going to him. So they think he may have thought, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt way talking, that they were helping. But they went to him before the Washington Post went to the other gentleman here, Mr. Ryan G. They went to him. So the Economist went to him. Let's see what they said. Say, listen what Charleston say. H-Town, I was taught in family history, VA was last resort cause of poor care. Yeah, you know how many family members pass away at the VA? That people say the last time I saw my daddy when I was taking him to the VA, and they had bed bugs in the VA in Virginia and Hampton, Virginia. It was kind of, man, people don't know how bad that system was. It was horrible at some point. Many World War II veterans and Vietnam veterans caught it. We started going after bed. That was horrible. We started going, doing the end of it, then they clean it up and it get bad again. MG Smith says, Yes, back in the day, if veterans went to the VA, it was to die. My Lord, you know the deal. My God. Yes, Lord. Let's pray for it, man. Lord, just bless the people, the families that people have lost family members. My Lord, that was the saying. Now listen what he said.
Who pretty much alluded to the same thing in a much less egregious way.
Talking about the economists that he did, they alluded to the same thing, that veterans are hustling the system, but not as horrible as the Washington Post.
And so this is a multi-pronged effort by some entity or somebody or some group of people that want to disgrace and not take care of veterans because we are a fiscal burden to America. Well, if that's the case, stop sending us to wars, because there's a cost of sending us to war. Thank you.
Now, he went straight to the point. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that statement. And I got number of respect until you prove otherwise. Now, we're going to go, what do y'all think, fam? Are we going to be able to, how are we going to be able to handle this? What should we do to deal with this to make sure we stand for our fellow vet? Now, let's see. Now we're going to get to the next part when this brother that's with the paralyzed veterans, he going to speak. Hold on. Oh boy. I messed the number up. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm looking for the brother. Give me a second. There you go. There you go. 120.53. All right, now listen. This is a brother from Paralyzed Veterans, and I believe he's paralyzed, and they finally got a black brother to speak. I'm glad. So at least the Democrats got putting some people out there. Let's see what you got here. Say, yes, I enlisted, though I never had to use it. Okay. Now, how long before you actually use VA healthcare as your primary healthcare? That took me from that was from 1992 to 1999. So was that 7 years before I used it as my primary healthcare? Maybe I used it in 95 too when I was up in Virginia. Now listen, Jay Oliver says they are not trained to answer reporters. I had to bathe my father at the old VA hospital in New Orleans a month or so before he died there. Respect to your father in this service. Don't tear me up, Jay Oliver. Man, I know, man, you had to bathe your own daddy at the hospital. They supposed to be doing that. Respect, man. I know that was hard for you. Oh, boy, I got to catch my breath, family. I'm a little emotional tonight, you can see. Now, Charles would say 16 years after active duty. So, wow, that's a long time, brother. I had to provide group health used at VA. Yeah. I had private group health used at VA. Okay. Wow, you had to use private health insurance to get help at the VA. That's crazy. Now listen to this brother talk here. And I'm glad Senator Takeo is, I hope I'm saying his name right, is listening to the veterans, and I appreciate him for doing so. I'm gonna give honor what honor is due. I'm not gonna sit there and be no hypocrite. Respect. I'm glad that other guy gone. You see the seat empty to him to the left, though. I had to put that in there.
Thank you, Ranking Member DeCano. I'd like to thank all of the other members over here present today. You know, PVA is unique in our focus with spinal cord injury disease. So I just wanted to make a few points in regards to the Post article. I know that there's been several different questions that came up that you wanted some of us to point out, but I did want to make a couple points, you know, that we are deeply troubled by the narrative that being disabled means that we shouldn't work.
I like that. That brother went right into, just because we disabled, that don't mean we shouldn't work. We might have to have a live stream on that. That brother went straight to the point. I like that.
Or leave our homes. You know, that's against PVA's core mission and our civil rights as people with disabilities.
Now, PVA is Paralyzed Veterans, I guess, Association, maybe. Oh, Paralyzed Veterans of America. I read the sign. Sorry about that.
We aren't broken, and it is expensive to be disabled. The disabled comp isn't the road to the easy life. It just helps us make a life. The special monthly compensation specifically needs an increase. And then we also need to focus on the claims process. Bad exams continue to be a problem that must be addressed. They lead to churn and waste.
He goes straight to the point. I like that he don't do a whole bunch of fluff talk. He said you need to increase the amount of special monthly compensation, and he talked about bad claims. Nobody else talked about the bad claims process, but H-Town here, but they won't let me before Congress. You think I'd that good if I was before Congress? What you think I'd do if I was there? I would be loving to see Senator Takeo, but if I saw Hakeem Jeffries, you think I could behave myself?
Provide us with the proper exams up front, and to sum it up, you know, don't blow it up, tune it up. And if America is built on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, why take that away from the disabled vet? Thank you.
So he say, don't blow up the process, just tune it up. How many think we need to blow up the process, put a bomb in the, meaning metaphorically speaking, put a bomb or dynamite in the emoji if you think we need to blow up the system? You don't have to agree with the brother. Do we need to blow it up or do we need to tune it up? Put tune up if you think we should tune it up. Which one should we do? H-Town would need a handler like Betty Bop to keep chill. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Because if I saw him, it wouldn't be good between me. Just hearing his voice would irritate me. I don't know why, because I'm usually a fair person. So I guess H-Town kind of bad now. I don't know. But he just sets me off. Oh, man. And he ain't the worst person. He's not like the most unethical, but I just don't care for him. I'm telling you, I don't care for him. Woo, woosah, woosah. But I don't. Oh Lord, let me be quiet. Now listen, Jay Oliver said I worked at a Fortune 500 company for 26 years with great insurance. So 24 years after it was my primary, and I was rated. Okay. Oh, you know, that's Charleston said I need a handler. I need a handler. Keep me in line. I ain't gonna deny that. I confess I got problems. Now, fam, we're gonna go to the last clip, and this is gonna be with the VA funding fee. They trying to get rid of the VA funding fee, fam. We at 2 hours and 33 minutes. We try to keep it around 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, family, let's go to this last clip. Yeah, I shouldn't be. I guess I should be more balanced, and because if it's helping us, that if he end up being a ranking member, because that's what they try to make this guy that irritates me, I should be cool because I may go before him. But if I had to go ask him for stuff to help us, do you think H-Town could keep his cool? Come on, be honest with you. Put a 1 in the chat if you think. Put a Y in the chat if you think H-Town could keep his cool if it was going to benefit us. If I had to go ask Hakeem Jeffries, the one of the lead people in the Democrat, for help, do you think I could keep my cool to help us with our benefits? That I could play nice, honor him? Or would you think I'd lose my cool? Let me know what y'all think while I pull up this next clip. Y'all think for us, would I be able to keep my cool if he could do something that would help us? Now we're going to the last clip here, 1:30. Now, say maybe a little while, but I don't think it would last. Oh, Lord. If I had to stroke his ego, I'd be biting my lip off. I would do it for y'all, but I have a cut all through my lip. You know. In fact, he couldn't ask me no direct question. So, what do you think, Mr. H-Town? Do you think I'm doing a good job at helping the veterans? Do you appreciate? And I'm not saying he's doing a bad job. I don't care for it. And so that's why you can't allow personal politics to influence when somebody helping you. So I'd have to do it for the group. But I'd be yelling all the way down the hallway on the way out. And if they ask me to shake his hand, my God, fam, y'all wouldn't ask me to shake his hand. Put a hand in the chat if he reached out his hand and you think it would be good for me to shake his hand. Put a hand in the chat. Oh God, if it was gonna help our benefits, y'all that would hurt me. I thought y'all cared about me, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh Lord, let's get to the last clip. I didn't know I was gonna get triggered. Would hit the fan. The boo-boo hit the fan. Yeah, man. Oh man. I gotta shake his hand. Oh man. Anything but that. Oh, Mr. H-Town, I enjoyed your comments. I want to reach you and shake your hand. Then he put his hand on my shoulder, man. Man. And I can't say nothing, family, right? I got to do what's in the best interest as us as veterans. Woo! I guess y'all found H-Town has flaws, and I apologize for being like that. Watch what you call him. Like I say, watch The Office with Michael, the way he felt about Toby. But I feel I have justification. But he was just hard on him. He should. He say, was that one hand or two hands? Oh, your shoulder. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm careful, man. Oh, you something else.
For that. Ryan Gallucci. Do you remember what you were going to say? It was a while ago.
Well, a number of things have sparked discussion. Thank you, Ranking Member Takano. You had asked things about pay-fors for the future of toxic exposure, and then our colleagues around the table have brought up so many other great points to talk about where we're going with veterans benefits. I want to talk briefly about toxic exposure and then about pay-fors.
You're going to talk about toxic exposure, so he's going over some good information. I respect that. Now, brothers say here, JL will say he could be your favorite Congressman Tankio. Yeah, he is. So if he would ask me, if that senator was to ask me to shake his hand, I probably would. I'd probably wash it in bleach when I'm done. But if he'd ask me to shake the Hakeem Jeffries' hand or to show respect to him, I would do it. I shouldn't be that way, but I'd be in that hallway washing my hand with bleach. Now listen, Rose City D say, good evening, H-Town veterans. Salute the chat. Everybody showing love to Rose City D. Now he's going to talk. One thing I do like about Gallucci, I think his name, Ryan Gallucci, he does have good information. The wishy-washiness and him trying to represent us properly and putting his foot in his mouth with the Washington Post is my concern. Maybe he should have just talk about the knowledge, not the political aspects, because I think he don't understand politics like that. So you got to be real careful. But he does have a lot of knowledge, and I respect that.
On toxic exposure, it's absolutely true. And I thank you for using the words occupational hazards. I think that's something that's important to stress, and you're going to hear us continue to double down on that there are extensive occupational hazards in military service. And then on top of it, service members understand that when they join the military. Had an opportunity at the Senate hearing to address that head on as well, that when an American volunteers for military service, they clearly understand that military service is dangerous. But that's not just combat, it's training, it's other occupational hazards, and I think we need to be very clear when we talk about that. Also, when the question came up about working groups or a commission to study veterans' benefits, I wanted to pivot that discussion to really making sure that we're following science much more quickly. It was talked about in the hearing that hypertension is an old fat person's disease. Well, tell that to a Vietnam veteran who developed it in their early 20s, in the early 1970s, and had to then fight for decades for that recognition until the PACT Act was signed into law. We don't want to see the same thing with K2. We don't want to see the same thing with air crews or submariners or any of the other occupational hazards that we all know exist in the military. Beyond that, when we're talking about pay force. You asked a question about where our organizations are as far as resolutions, and that's what prompted me to put up the marker. So the VFW at our national convention, we're resolutions-based, and so our members drive our resolutions. We adopted a resolution centered around our honor the contract slogan and a rallying cry, because again, this is
Okay, he kind of talking a whole bunch of who shot John, so we're gonna end that there, family. Thank y'all for your patience, fair use. And like I went back, yeah, Rosie D, I did get the thing that you said there. That's why people say, why I keep bringing up black? Because you got these guys and people that continue to put black people as the disabled people, like we the ones exploiting it. And Rose City D sent an article. Now Charleston say rather have Pastor Dougie than this VFW guy. I know Pastor Dougie motives. He said even row. So let's see. Fair use, family, fair use. I'm going to pull something up here. And this guy been making a lot of videos, and he tends to have black people. He's a TikToker. And I saw some, that's the one I mentioned before, but Rose City done it. He always got black veterans mostly as the ones exploiting the system, peacock rocking and stuff like, I got my benefits. Woo, woo, you know, and we don't even know if these people are all veterans. They could be lying. But this is to incite, in my opinion. Fair use, fair use. Now, this guy here, I don't know if he's a veteran or not, but he keeps getting these things and saying, look, it's almost, he act like he kind of for veterans. I don't know if he's a veteran. Somebody said 100% permanent total, but man, I heard like hell daily. They was chatting. And he's talking about, I'm looking at the chats up here. The one bragging are the ones that are not heard. I think that's what they said, or anything wrong with them. Ain't nobody getting no 100% without having some symptoms and evidence. I don't know how they make. Even if somebody brag, that don't mean they're not totally disabled. Now listen to this guy. Okay, hold on.
Yes, they've already started looking into that, okay, because of everything that people are doing online.
because what everybody's doing online, they looking into this stuff, and what he say, veteran TikTok culture, stop sharing your VA disability. I think it's the way you share it, but I'm not gonna I don't know what this guy's saying. Let me see. Because he said some stuff. I don't know what part he's staying on.
All right. This is something that's been on my mind for quite some time. And the more I go online and see more of this, the more I feel like I need to create a video to address this. Okay. Veterans out there, friends out there, I feel like I'm so connected to a lot of you all that it's okay to call you a friend. Nobody needs to know about your disability rating. Okay. Let me say that one more time. Nobody needs to know about your disability rating.
How y'all feel about that? I don't know, because I tell y'all about mine. How we gonna help each other if we don't know? So most people may not need to know, but I don't know. I'm not saying he's wrong. How do y'all feel? Do you think nobody needs to know about our disability rating? How can we help each other? Now listen, it's a bad look doesn't mean they didn't honestly deserve the rating. Yeah, because some people might brag because they happy they got it. They ain't never, and some, we all make bonehead statements, but you notice most veterans are not doing that. But the fact that they say nobody, well, if nobody should talk about their 100%, nobody should be over here talking about we'll help you get your 100%. How about that? Online. It should be done behind the scenes. How about that? Are they gonna stop or saying I can help you get your 100%? No. But I hear what he's saying. He got a point.
Don't go out there and tell people that you are 50% or 100% because people will get the wrong idea. Okay.
I totally agree with that. Now that I totally agree with. I agree with that.
I feel like many veterans out there on social media are talking and flaunting. Okay. I say flaunting their VA disability rate.
Yeah, but you keep showing black veterans doing it. I ain't saying you don't show nobody else, but every time I see you have a black face up there popping up. But nobody should be flaunting.
And it just looks bad. All right. Terrible optics all around. All right. We need to learn how to accept things if you have 100% VA disability and move forward with it without having to announce it to the world. I feel like that's one of the terrible things that social media has brought on was.
I don't think that's a big problem. Maybe it is on social media. I don't know. But that's the part I wanted to say on that. That's how I feel about that. What you gave me, Betty Boss, we're gonna go over that next time. I want to keep it short. We get into 3 hours now, and we'll cover the article about the veteran getting the Medal of Honor, deserving it from earlier war. All right, let me see. Now, we're going to go over new releases here in a minute. Now, Rose City D say, I told y'all my wife and my mom had a buddy that 100% knows. That's it. Okay. I told y'all my wife and mom and a buddy that I have 100% knows. That's it. Okay. They know I'm said they don't know how I got it. I just say I'm retired military. You know, I'm medically retired. The VA is like a medical retirement. I don't get into all that stuff. I don't tell no woman that it look. Apparently, I'm doing all right. I'm okay. I was in the military. That's it. You don't go in no details, because then people start plotting against you. Need to know basis. You understand? Okay. What's your opinion on the video, Rose City D, that you sent to me? Charleston say, let me see what I got. And let me make it the full screen so I can see. Charleston say, it isn't the rating, it's the bragging. That's right. It's like giving ammo to haters. Even if you're 10%, you shouldn't be bragging. Even if you're just a veteran getting state benefits, you shouldn't brag. If you're just a veteran getting out, I'm a veteran, you not. That's not how we should talk. Farm Girl Rebel says, just like most Black people aren't brawling in Walmart shopping centers. See, what I don't like, there's some like y'all here different, we diverse here, y'all help, but most don't help. They only help their own. See, I learned this stuff when I try to engage. There's only a few white people that would share information like this with me. Rare. There's only a few more Hispanics, but sometimes they don't if they identify as white Hispanics. You understand? And you got a group of them that they think the Black people are the problem getting the benefits, or the poor white people are the problem get the benefits. You know, they got people that have problem with poor people getting benefits. They think they should be the only one get them. Shout out Lieutenant Colonel Gad. What you think? What opinion do you think Pastor Dougie have on that? But that is what they always show. It's a narrative. I think they are pushing for division, but we got to stop giving them the ammo. We can't be giving them the ammo, but I can't control. Look, let me tell you something. When somebody go bang up a school, they don't blame all white people for that. But when somebody Black do something, I got to take responsibility for everything they did. I didn't sign off on that. Matter of fact, I don't do what they do when the person shoot up the school. Guess what they do? He had a rough childhood. He didn't get enough hugs. I don't make excuses. We don't make excuses for people that do stuff grimy in our community. Hey, they did wrong, unless we feel like they wasn't wrong. But other people justify it. The media, everybody. Now, not this person, but what is being brought to the top of the algorithm. Yeah, and I've heard some good stuff from, but H-Town, I feel it be us doing the most, honestly. Well, we the ones that are projected. I don't see a whole bunch of Black people out there. I don't see a whole bunch of Black people showboating and peacocking on the street. But yeah, to an extent, you are correct. Because who have I had to block? Black males. Am I lying, family? Haven't I had to block Black males because they want to be the showboat, the center of attention? I've had to block at least 5 Black males to 6 or 7. And I'm a Black male. I think I'm a Black. I'm like the guy on Tropic Thunder. I'm a man inside of another man playing another man. Robert Downey Jr. did a good job on that. That word has kept our people down for 500 years, 400 years. I say, man, Robert Downey Jr. did a good job on that. That's what I say medically retired. Medically retired. Because you start saying, I'm 100%. What's that? What that license plate mean? Now, I sell art and antiques. Hey, Jay Oliver, you the best. What do you tell people when they ask you about where your VA disability? Have anybody ever asked? What do you tell them? Now, MG Smith say, not discussing my medical history to no one but my wife, because she needs to know in case something happens. Listen, stop telling your neighbors that you're 100%, that you don't pay no property tax. I don't care if they see it on here, because I won't talk to them. They ain't coming up to me. Huh? They know not to come up to me. Asking me about stuff. I say, how would you feel if I asked you what type of underwear your wife got on? See, I get them out my face quick. So what you asking me questions for? That's how I feel about it. Huh? I'm sharp with my words. I get up out my face or do something about what I said. Either way, get out my face. Now, don't be asking me. Now, Smiley, Dougie should team up. They might already be teamed up. Charleston says, H-Town, yes, you're a black man. Sorry to tell you. Okay, okay, I was making sure, man. I'm hating on another brother, so I might have to ask for forgiveness because Congressman Akeem Jeffries is a brother. But he run me hot, so I'm black. Okay, thank you for letting me know. He did what they say in the South. He let me down easy. Charleston let me down easy. We got 19 likes and 10 watching. Family, y'all been very engaging tonight. Now, yes, sir, H-Town, you have to block them. I've been here long enough to know that. It's sad. You think I'm playing? I had to block Mr. Expert Troll, Mr. International, who thought he knew everything. I had to block Veteran Policy Plug. I ain't gonna say all the names, but about 6 others after that, and I gave them chances. I tried to reason with them because it's not a good look. I don't have beef with them like that. I'm more patient with them than I am with the congressman. I give them time to say, hey, now guys, stop doing this. I had things. I had videos that say, will H-Town ignore the disrespect or undermine the channel? I did stuff to try to make them change. I say, well, hey, stop talking about that over here. Stop doing this here. I said, I edited my last video, then I blocked them because they couldn't say nothing because y'all knew by then I did everything I could for them to act right. Yeah, 95% of the people at the block was black males. Or maybe a female or two. Most of them was that dude pretending to be females. Now, let's see. Okay, family, y'all done an excellent job. The new releases that we have out, family, go back. We're going to try to start doing what do you call that? Videos, pre-recorded videos during the day. Now, new releases. Now you got to watch this. This is a barn burner here. And go back and rewatch it. We go over the statistics of 2024, all of the percentages. We kind of covered it a little bit tonight. Every veteran that was disabled in each percentage category, 0, 10, 20, 30, and how much each group of veterans in that percentage were paid. For example, you 10%, we put to the last dollar how much they made to the last veteran. The numbers were crunched. Nobody else did that. They're not talking about it in these Congress meetings. Oh, let me turn the music back on. Sorry about that. Thank y'all, family. See, H-Town ain't perfect, so I tell you my flaws. Now, then we talked about these people that they use as Judas goats and these perverse incentives and these rewarding illness. These individuals that present themselves as veterans, but are they pro-veteran? That was the name of this. Then we talked about the Judas goat, which was very popular too, where we talked about who's representing us, that's leading us astray, right? And we call it the Judas goat. Now listen, I have to say thank you tonight. I learned to laugh at these hearings, Washington Post article. Yeah, because they upset us because you said you were upset earlier. We had to make you laugh. I went off on a tangent on the minority leader, but I shouldn't do that. But I can't help myself. And we talked about in this live about the advocates. Can some of them portray us? The VA secretary, was he a Judas goat? The government, whether it's the president, Congress, and the Supreme Court. And somebody mentioned the Supreme Court ruling earlier. I would love to know more about that. And fellow veterans, as we see, everybody that's veteran don't mean they for us. And this is very important. We talked about the states with the largest veteran population. We broke it all the way down. Family, thank y'all for y'all donations. Thank y'all for helping, supporting, contacting, asking questions, sending me articles. So our email is at the bottom. Go to the channel, watch some of the videos and clips. We don't just have live streams, we have shorter videos. If you haven't watched them, please go watch them. If you feel, you want to learn more information about the channel and veteran benefits. And we have our Cash App and PayPal if you'd like to donate. Thank you. Now the conversation is here. We usually talked out by now, and y'all know where it's going here. Then we at the after party. We want to hear from you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? But I got a question. What that weather like where you at? What is the weather? Is it snowing, raining, freezing cold? What is the temperature in particular? Right now here in Richmond, Texas, right outside of Houston, is 54 degrees with a cooler tonight with a high of 61. Come on now, fam. Our brother says, let me get these headset on. Brother MG Smith says H-Town is 32 degrees and feels like what? Feels like 24 degrees. Cooksville, Tennessee might have to move to Texas. Look, I heard, but I got to confirm it, that, remember I said it was 9 states that had no state taxes. I think Mississippi just got rid of their state taxes. Charleston say 51, light rain in Pennsylvania. Jay Oliver say 60 degrees, cloudy in Louisiana. Okay, y'all being very inactive. We about to close out. 55 degrees, raining in Maryland. Family, say your final goodbyes when you get a chance. Farm Girl say 23 degrees in southern Minnesota, down to 15 later. I told her to be careful out there. Did you have your boots on? You didn't go out there in no flip-flops, did you, Farm Girl Rebel, when you're dealing with them animals? Make sure you have your boots on now. Be careful. I'm sounding like a parent now. Now, Betty Bob says Maryland. Yes, indeed. Family. And snowing. Boots, gloves, hats. Who gonna get some snow or rain? Put it in the chat. Yeah, it is cold, lady brother. Oh, you got a Parker. I look like a Ewok out there. Okay. Farm Girl Rebel. How's those goats staying warm? If you got chickens, the chickens just stay in their roosts, right? Because we had chickens down here, but we're in the South. Jay Oliver say good night, family. Everybody say good night, family. Then we have Betty Bob says, H-Town, have a lovely rest of your week. Family, have an amazing week. Family, come on, put it in there. Let us know. I think we did it tonight. And I try to come up with thumbnails that have a quality of, representation of the channel and the quality of the information that we put out. Now, MG Smith says, and that was what's called tonight. Yes, it was snowing here early in Cooksville, Tennessee. Wow. Even though it's in the South, it's cold up there. What's closest to you? Knoxville, Memphis. Which one closer to you? Any of them close to you in the major city? Farm Girl Rebel say goats. get all hairy, staying warm and having shelter. Good night all. Yes, indeed. And H-Town, good night, and the family take care. Family, y'all keep leaving but coming back in here. Now, family, I want to thank y'all. See, I'm going to be real about everything. I'm going to be real about my flaws. Maybe I need to be more patient when it comes to the Nashville, okay. When it comes to the congressman. Nashville to the west, Chattanooga to the south, Knoxville to the east. Sound like you right in the middle. Man, good night, family, shipmate. Family, I enjoyed y'all. And family, I want to say a good night. Thank y'all. I'm going to start to see if y'all got a few last statements. If not, we want to thank y'all. We went over it. Perverse incentives are proper compensation. All right? Just because we get a large percentage, that doesn't mean that we're corrupted in any way. All right? Is the current VA compensation system corrupting veterans or properly rating disabilities? Betty Bob say good night, shipmate. Yes, indeed. Good night to the shipmates. And we want to say good night to all. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I respect you. And we'll see you on the next one.